I'm not the one who's so far away when I feel the snake bite and tear my veins. Never did I wanna be here again, and I don't remember why I came. Clouds rain on my head, empty thoughts fill my ears. Find my shade by the moonlight. Why my thoughts aren't so clear? Demons dreaming, breathing, breathing. I'm coming back again. I'm not the one who's so far away when I feel the snake
Good morning. It's Uncle Lou here. Yeah, that's right. It's me, Uncle Lou, live on LouTube for you. Thanks for watching. This is the Lunch Money Show every Monday night at 10 p.m. Me and your boy Pigskin Pete. What's up, Pete?
What's up, bros and broettes? How y'all doing tonight?
Pete, how long we been doing this show?
This is our third year.
And how long has it not been a call-in show?
Every time.
Every single episode?
Every single episode.
Okay, so I don't understand. And then if you get kicked out of the StreamYard 22 times in a 3-minute period, I don't know what you think's going to change the 24th or 25th time you try to join the StreamYard. This is not a call-in show. So I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah, the only person that ever joins us typically is Edward.
Right. He's on every Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Now, I do some call-in shows. This just ain't one of them. I do a call-in show on Tuesday and Thursday. What about you, Pete?
Yeah, Wednesday and Friday, but I do bring people on the StreamYard for the midday show as, about an hour in or so. But,
right.
But I have the same issue.
This isn't the midday show, though, is it?
No. But this is the thing with StreamYard. If there's a StreamYard link in the description anywhere for whatever reason, I know it's for me and for Edward to use. But if it's in there, people are going to click on it. I've already noticed that.
Yeah.
On my show too. So.
Yeah. It's just if you get kicked out 25 times.
I'll tell you right now, if I go in somebody's StreamYard and they kick me out once, I'm not coming back.
Did you see the two people that just kept joining over and over again?
No, I couldn't see them because I wasn't in yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same two people, and it's not even trolls. It's not trolls. It's regular people. I like those people, but this just isn't a call-in show. That's all. I'd be happy to talk to y'all tomorrow, though, on Uncle Lou After Dark. So, anyway, what's up, Pete? How was your weekend, buddy?
Weekend was long.
Yeah?
Yeah, beat me down, man. I think these past 2 weeks have beat me down with the 24-hour live stream, and then the week after that, and then I did games on Friday and Saturday last week.
What'd you do, the Florida State game?
Yeah, I did the Florida State-Louisville game on Friday night.
That was a great game.
I did 2 games on Saturday because I did one for, publicly and one for the members, and then had a long day Sunday. I think I'm just beat down, man.
Yeah.
I felt like I got hit by. I'm too old to be doing, staying up till 4 o'clock in the morning and shit, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not 25 anymore.
Well, you need to do something. We're only 3 weeks in. You got another. Shoot, we got 3. We still got the rest of September, all of October, all of November, all of December, half of January.
I need one of those. What did Michael Jackson used to sleep in? A cryogenic chamber?
Yeah, like one of those cryogenic chamber.
A hyperbaric. I don't know what you call it. I need to get one of those installed in my bedroom.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
I might look into that too. Anyway, shout out to everybody for tuning in tonight. Hope your week has gotten off to a good start. Hope everybody enjoyed the weekend. Let's take roll and see who's hanging out with us in the comments section today. I see our boy Huffer Billy Paul, who's on vacation this week, Pete. He's up at, well, I don't know. Maybe it's nobody's business, but he is on vacation. I've seen some pictures over on the Book of Faces there, and looks like he's having a good time.
He said he was in Boston. I mean,
I think he's in Boston, yeah.
I mean, it's going to be hard to find him if anybody's looking for trouble. But, he's doing a lot. He's the new Traveling Fools.
Whoa.
Place.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know if he's leaving the country or not, but as far as inside of the continental 48, this man's going everywhere.
Well, Traveling Fools needs to step his game up, sounds like.
Yeah. He's going to he's going to the Miami game in Clemson in November with us. He's going to the Florida State game in a few weeks in Tallahassee.
Oh, wow.
And I want to say he's going to another away game sometime soon too. He's going all over the place, man. I'm jealous.
A regular globetrotter, that Huffer Billy Paul, isn't he?
Yeah.
All over the place. See who else is here. Bo Hunting is here. Macklin Griffin, John Stevens, Daniel Paul. Dylan Deloney is here. That's Edward's handler, I believe. Who else is here? X-Crisis, SEC Football, Keaton Asifa, good morning. Says, go Buckeyes. We will see Georgia in the Natty. That is a possibility. It is a definite possibility. Luke Walker, Nate the Great, Lizard Circus and Neo are here. Mike Luca, Ohio is here. Says he's leaving for the Ohio State-Wisconsin game tomorrow. Think that'll be a good game, Pete? Don't you?
No.
You want it to, though, don't you? But it's just one of those things. Wisconsin just not very good.
Well, we'll talk about the lines. This is one of my there's a bunch of good lines this week.
Yeah. I haven't even looked at them yet. Somebody asked me about it this morning on the morning show, and I said, you know what? I started to pull it up. And I said, I'm not even going to pull it up. We're doing the Lunch Money show tonight. We'll pull all that up tonight.
Yeah. So I don't know if somebody's trolling me in the chat or not, saying my microphone is low. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. I mean,
I hear you.
All right to you, don't I?
Yeah, I hear you. Fine.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's go, Darwin. Thank you for the super chat. He says, Anthony Richardson, the only AR-15 to go into a school and oh, come on. Oh, man. Oh, man. I don't know about that. A school shooting joke? Is that acceptable, Pete? I don't know.
I mean, we do have some. Look, I know it's the Lunch Money show, and people might watch one or two episodes or parts of one or two episodes and think that everything's acceptable, but that's not the case. We do have a line.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't offend me, but I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't know about the school shooting jokes.
Yeah. Oh.
Woo! But good to see you in here, buddy, and thank you for helping to support the show. Harry Leg is in here, as well as Harry Ear, or Ear Hair. I saw Ear Hair in here earlier, too. Good to see him in here. Vandy Dandy, Hoghead, Luke Walker, B.A., the Nature Boy, Hunter Goatfro. That must be one of your boys, Pete.
Hey, Hunter Rofro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bo Hunting, Will Eubanks, Mr. Weeks, Pastor Dave, B. Bean, the Mad Tea Sipper, Bama Mike, what's up, buddy? Jarvis S., Nathan Collins. Appreciate everybody tuning in to the Lunch Money Show. Again, me and Pete do this show every Monday night, year-round, not just during the season, but year-round. During the season, of course, it's almost all college football related. We talk a lot of gambling stuff. We look at the spreads and the odds and all that for all the week's games, which we're going to get to here shortly. Pete, did you actually bet any games this past weekend? I did not. So
I actually have not bet a single game all season.
I bet a few in week 0 and a few in week 1, and I just about broke even. I didn't bet any in week 2 or week 3. So I might need to get back on the horse this weekend. I don't know. We'll see. I'll wait for you to tell me what the winners are, and I'll figure it out from there, I guess.
Well, I realize what all the trolls have been doing for the past 2 years to us is that I've been running around for the past 3 weeks saying, man, if I would have bet that game, I would have won it. Because I haven't bet anything, but I've been making hella picks that were right.
Yeah.
So I'm kicking myself for not making bets, but I haven't so far. I might do some this weekend. We'll see.
Josh, thank you for hitting the PayPal link to help support the show today. He says, good evening in that. One big this weekend, made $207 on parlays and about to make another $50 on the Bills tonight.
Wow,
well, congratulations. I do. You can count on one hand the number of parlays I do in a year. I don't typically bet parlays. The payouts are great, but it's hard enough for me to get one game right. Never mind go 3 out of 3 or 4 out of 4 or something like that, which is what you have to do to hit a parlay. So I typically avoid those. Yeah. But yeah, if you won 207, I don't know how many teams your parlay was, but $50 on a 3-team parlay probably pay you 207 or close to it.
I've been pretty successful in the past with these parlays. I just parlay 2 bets, and it's the same game. Sometimes they'll let you do it, sometimes they won't. It depends on where you're at. Some will, some won't. So
you'll do like the spread and the over-under on the same game.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. There's a popular parlay like that where you bet the favorite and the over. Is that what it is? Or something? There's some kind of gambling strategy there.
You're talking about the teaser.
Is that what it is? Okay.
Well, the teaser, I believe, is where you can move the line. I think, well, it depends on another thing where it depends on where you're betting.
Oh yeah, you can move the line up or down.
You can move the line up and down, and then the under up and down, but you have to bet both and you have to win both.
Yeah.
And it's very enticing. That's why they call it a teaser. I try to stay away from those though. I don't trust it.
Yeah.
I don't trust me, I guess. That's what I mean to say.
Matthew Watson, thank you for hitting the super chat to help support the show. Sort Beaver, thank you for hitting the super chat. He says Ole Miss is the number 1 team in the country and has the number 2 defense. I think they do have the number 2 scoring defense, actually.
Guess who has the number one scoring defense or the number one turnover defense?
Taters?
No. Oh God. Well, we'll get into that. I got a lot to say about the Taters. Believe me.
Number one turnover. I don't know who.
Southern Cal.
Oh, yeah, that's right. They had a bunch of I think they had 4 interceptions in a game.
They had 4 turnovers in the first game. I don't know what their stats were since then, but I don't care what, I mean, look, if you're undefeated after 3 games, I don't care who you are. That's impressive.
Yeah.
I mean, there's only, there's 7, 8, get this, Lou. There's 7 ACC teams that are undefeated right now. Yeah. Half of the conference.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying they're any good. I'm just saying, when was the last time that after 3 weeks there were 7 undefeated teams in the ACC?
Right.
It's definitely been a long time ago.
Well, and one of those undefeated teams has a huge matchup this weekend against another undefeated team from another conference.
Yeah.
Duke and Kansas.
That's one of my picks of the week.
What a great game that's going to be.
Yeah. And who would have ever thought that?
Will the winner of that game be ranked next week? They should, right? There can't be 25-4-0 teams. I think if you're like you said, if you're undefeated after the first month of the season, you should be ranked, right?
You will, and they will be. I believe that whoever wins that game will be ranked. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too. Hunter Goatfro says my Titans are getting mouth pumped right now. Yeah, Monday Night Football on right now. Titans and Bills. Man, the Bills are good. I watched them play the first game of the NFL season against. Who was that they played? The Rams. The Rams, I believe it was.
Yeah,
yeah. Wasn't it the Bills versus the Rams? First game of the NFL season on a Thursday?
No, was it? Maybe it was.
I think it was.
I don't know. I've only watched like 2 games, NFL games all season. They were both Carolina, and they lost both of them. They're the new Browns. Carolina is.
Oh, no.
Terrible.
Who's their coach?
Matt Rule. Not for long.
Not for long. Yeah, he's going to be in college next year. He
might not even make it that. I mean, I think he's on like week to week right now. He might get fired after next week if they lose.
Yeah, he might be at Arizona State in December. I have a feeling. Mike Luca, thank you for the super chat. He says the Taters are losing to Wake Forest. I cannot wait. Man, I'm telling you, it's hard for me to believe that. After seeing what I saw in the Clemson-Wake Forest game last year, it's hard for me to imagine Wake Forest beating Clemson this year. I know one year doesn't necessarily translate to another, but to me, Wake Forest is a lot like they were last year.
I'm trying to hold my tongue until we talk about the game. That's the whole reason I'm not saying anything about it. But
I'll wait till we pull up the lines.
Yeah, but I'm with you on that. But there are other factors in here.
Yeah, I mean, if the game would have been 28-27 or something last year, but I mean, Clemson's offense was non-existent last year, and they ran up and down the field on Wake Forest.
Yeah, there's some weird stats with Clemson this year that will blow people's minds if they pay attention to it. And Vandy Dandy in the chat says Wake Forest is not a good team. They went into Vanderbilt and beat the brakes off of you, sir. I mean, we know Vanderbilt's no good either, but
Georgia couldn't stop Ole Miss running game. No one has ran on Georgia since 2016. Ole Miss hasn't suddenly figured something out. Ole Miss has a great running game, almost the best running game in the SEC. Not the best running game in the SEC, but almost. Arkansas had the best running game in the SEC last year. You know how many yards they had against Georgia? Look it up. Look it up. Matthew Watson says Tennessee going to dog walk Florida, Bama, and UGA. Jesus, man. God almighty. Tennessee beats Pitt in overtime. Now they're beating Georgia, and not just beating Georgia and Bama, dog walking them. Be a shame if Tennessee looks back on this year and Pitt was the highlight, wouldn't it? If I was a Tennessee fan, I wouldn't say a fucking word until I beat Florida. Not one fucking word. Not one word. But, of course, I'm not a Tennessee fan.
Thank God. Speaking of Tennessee fans, guess who called into my calling show last week?
Who?
Our boy Catfish, man.
Really? God, I hadn't heard from him, and I don't even know when. That's what I
said. And he's well, I don't want to put his business out there, but I mean, he did come on my show and say it, so I don't think it's private news or anything. He said it on the airwaves.
Yeah.
He sold that restaurant.
No.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay.
So he's on the open market again.
All right.
According to him, he said he made out good on it. So he's
Good.
not, I mean, because when he told me he sold the restaurant, I was sitting there thinking, should I congratulate him or is this a bad thing? Like, I don't know, his situation. And he said, no, it's a good thing. I made out, like a champ. I said, okay,
Good.
well, great. Congratulations then.
Yeah. Good. Good for him. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's done this before. He's been I think a lot of people knew him as a truck driver, which technically he was a truck driver, but of course he owned his own truck. He was his own business as a truck driver. And he had a lot of he's had lots of businesses over the years.
I think he still has several businesses right now.
Yeah, like the restaurant thing wasn't his first rodeo with in the business world. He's very, like, when he talks to me about business stuff, I almost don't even understand what he's saying. Like, because he really knows he knows his stuff. He talks like an entrepreneur, like a businessman.
Yeah.
I talk like an idiot with a YouTube account and a camera. So.
Me too. He did say he had a girlfriend and she was a Florida fan. So he took an L there, but whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not all perfect.
Yeah. No. Yeah. That's definitely true. Matt Judy, thank you for the super chat. He says, move the line to 6.5 and take Clemson, take Southern Cal and Texas to cover. 3 locks. Let me ask you this about Southern Cal. Well, who has the best offense in college football? I'm not talking about some random stat. I'm talking about, you watch a lot of college football. I do too. Which offense? Clemson has a really good defense. So does Georgia. Which offense scares you the most? Because for me, it's Southern Cal. I'm just gonna. I'm not gonna lie.
I was gonna say either Ohio State or Southern Cal. So far.
Yeah, I'm in on Southern Cal. They're unbelievable to watch. They might have the 2 best receivers in all of football. They had 200-yard rushers last week.
I got into a debate yesterday with some tater man on Twitter when the AP came out, the new rankings, and Clemson was, I think, 5, and then there was Oklahoma, and then USC or something. I said Oklahoma and USC should be ahead of Clemson right now, and he got mad and said, "Oh, I don't know what makes you think USC and Oklahoma are any good." I said, "I don't know. Have you seen the games,
right,
sir?" I mean, I'm not saying they're better than Clemson, but as of right now, whatever today's date is, the 20. What is it? I don't even know what today's date is.
I think it's the 19th. Yeah,
19th. They have played better and looked more impressive in their wins. So that's why they should be ranked higher. I'm not saying anything more than that, but the Pac-12 has 2 or 3 really good teams that really nobody gave a shot preseason.
Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah. I have Oklahoma and Southern Cal ahead of Clemson. I have, I think, Michigan 4, Southern Cal 5, Oklahoma 6, Clemson 7. That's
Already with I know some of these people are trolling with they ain't played nobody, but some of them, USC plays no one.
Well, I had an Oklahoma fan tell me today, how can you rank Southern Cal ahead of Oklahoma when Southern Cal ain't played nobody? I'm like, wait a minute, what? You're an Oklahoma fan, sir. You've played Nebraska and 2 middle school teams talking about Southern Cal ain't played nobody.
Oh, man.
You played Nebraska 6 days after they fired their head coach in 2 middle school teams, and you talking about USC ain't played nobody.
90% of college football teams have played at least 2 cupcake games out of the first 3 weeks. That's just the way things go. So nobody's played nobody, I guess.
I mean, if I
Clemson
look at
played nobody.
Everybody said, well,
ain't
North
Carolina damn sure ain't played nobody. You haven't played a Power 5 team yet. It's almost fucking October, man. What are y'all waiting on?
Well, according to the AP poll, Georgia has the 2nd best win in the country. So, and that's a win over Oregon. So, Florida has the best win in the country with a win over Utah. Utah's ranked 13th. Utah's the highest ranked team with a loss. Oregon's the 2nd highest ranked team with a loss. So Georgia ain't played nobody, yet they have the best win in the country. So let's keep that in mind if we can.
There's some good Pac-12 teams. I mean, not teams, games this week also.
Yeah, people have gotten out of the habit of paying attention to the Pac-12, and I can't say that I blame them. I know the games come on late, and they haven't made the playoffs in 7 years or whatever. But Oregon State, look, people get the wrong idea. They think when you say somebody's good, that means they're a playoff team. No, but Oregon State is good. Washington is good. Utah is good. Oregon is good. Southern Cal is good and might be a playoff team. Like, you can be good. Like, if you're ranked 17th, you're good.
I think there's 20. I mean, I think 20 is fair. So the top 20 teams are good on average.
Yeah. I mean,
that's, well, whatever, 1/7 or 1/6, or yeah, what about 1/6 and a half of the FBS.
Yeah.
So I think that's fair to say. Missouri's bad. Yeah. Well, I mean, we can go down the list of teams that are definitely bad. That's an easy list to pick out who's bad, right? It's easier to pick out who's bad than who's good this early in the season.
Right. We know Notre Dame is bad.
Yes. Oh my God. They'll even tell you that.
We know Florida's bad. Type. Chance-tastic says, Lou, Zeus has 2 yards on 1 carry so far this season. McDaniels has 4 running backs in his rotation for the Raiders. There's your stats from the morning. So thank you, Chance. I was asking about Zamir White this morning, the Raiders, and how he was doing. I guess he's not playing much. I saw him play some in the preseason, and he looked good, but I get it. That's the preseason. He was probably playing against a bunch of people who didn't make a roster, but he did look good in the preseason, but not getting much work during the season, it looks like. What'd you think about the games this past weekend real quick, Pete, and then we'll move on to this week's games. Or then we'll bring Edward on.
Well, the ones that the ones that I streamed, the Florida State-Louisville one, those are the ones I saw live. I saw about a half of the Clemson game, and then I went back the next day and rewatched it to make sure I got to see everything I was looking for. And then I saw the Texas A&M and the Miami game. Mm-hmm. I got bad news for Miami fans. I mean, I'm here to tell you right now. They got a lot of problems. Look, Texas A&M is not a very good team.
Well, defensively they are.
Defensively they are. Offensively, they did make a quarterback switch too. So they saw a new quarterback that they didn't see the first 2 weeks. That might have had something to do with it. But Miami, this whole Tyler Van Dyke Heisman campaign that they've been running around talking about for the past 10 months, no.
Yeah,
he looked like a deer in headlights.
Yeah. Well, the wide receivers didn't help him out.
No, I mean, there's, again, like I said, a lot of issues with them. But
I mean, each team scored 3 times. But Miami kicked 3 field goals. And you're not going to upset somebody on the road that way. You got to score touchdowns when you get down there.
Yeah.
I mean, I still think Miami can go 10-2. I don't know who else is going to beat them besides Clemson.
They could drop 1 or 2 to some other team. And the Coastal is such a hot mess of teams. I mean, they've got to play Pitt. They have to play North Carolina. And I know the running joke about North Carolina. I mean, they do have a terrible defense. There's no doubt about it. But they're going to be in a lot of shootouts with people this year. And they might have the best quarterback in the conference so far.
You talking about North Carolina?
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to talk about their game this week here when we pull it up in a second.
Oh, yeah, well, yeah. I mean, but they do have statistically the best quarterback in the ACC so far.
Yeah, he's been fun to watch, too.
Yeah, he's good. He's the real deal.
Yeah. He's not a freshman, is he? Or
no.
Okay.
No, he was on the team last year. He just didn't start. Yeah.
Okay. Drake May, is that his name? Drake May?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's good.
He's the real deal. The defense is still terrible. But anyway, my point is with the ACC, with Miami, they've got to play Clemson. They got to play Florida State, too, which, by the way, I know that they're going to run around saying that's a cupcake game for them. It's not. First of all, it's a rivalry game. And Florida State is, I don't care what anybody says, they're better than anybody thought they were going to be, including me, so far this season.
I mean, LSU took Mississippi State to the woodshed.
Yeah, and I picked that game. See, that's the one I wish I would have bet on, because everyone was telling me, oh, Pete, LSU's terrible. They're terrible. And I was like, look, LSU at home, that was their first home game of the year, wasn't it? Because the other game was a neutral site.
Well, they played, you talking about LSU?
Yeah.
They played Southern
the
week before,
right.
which I think is an HBCU.
Yeah. And the line was basically, I mean, it was close to, what was it? It was like a 2-point spread or something. And I mean, give me the LSU Tigers at home. I'm not sold on Mississippi State, but anyway, I think that Florida State is they're not going to win the ACC or anything. I'm not saying that, but I think they're headed in the right direction.
This is going to be the best team they've had in 6 years.
Exactly.
Easy.
And the offensive line has improved 100%.
Yeah. I like their quarterback too. He's improved.
Too.
He's never going to make the Hall of Fame in the NFL or anything like that, but he's got a lot of experience. He's gotten better than he was last year. He can run around a little. He can make some plays. He's better than what they've had at the quarterback position probably since Jameis Winston.
I agree with you. The ACC is loaded with good quarterbacks. I mean, that's just a fact. I mean, he's one of them now.
Yeah.
So my point is though, there's at least 3 or 4 games that should scare Miami. And now they won't lose all 4 of those games. That's not what I'm saying. If you're a Miami fan and you're listening, my point is there's 1 or 2 games on that schedule in conference, even in division, that they could possibly drop. So they could end up being 9-3, 10-2. Probably it's more accurate depending on the health of Van Dyke. I know they got Garcia still on the team too, but he's not anywhere as good as Van Dyke is.
I saw Dylan in the comments a minute ago. Dylan, where's your cousin at? Edward is not here.
Uh-oh.
I know that's going to break a lot of hearts, but we might have to skip the Edward segment for tonight.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I know that's going to disappoint a lot of people.
It'll disappoint me.
Well, and me and you might be the only ones it disappoints.
I know.
But I like hearing from Edward. I'm not sure what's going on. He's not in the back, but Dylan, wrangle up your cousin there. He says no clue. Okay.
Yeah, maybe he's shaving his ear hair or something. Who knows what's going on?
Wouldn't that be something? Yeah, and that would take a while. That would definitely take a while. All right, should we pull up the lines for this week's games, Pete, and take a look at them and see if we can figure out a way to lose some money this weekend?
Let's go for it.
Let's do it. All right, everybody, we're going to pull the lines up for this weekend's games. I'll put it up on the screen so everybody can see it. Me and Pete will go through the games. We won't talk about every single game. Me and Pete will each hit on a few of the games that interest us. Once we go through the list, we'll come back to the comment section, and if there's a game that we skipped that you'd like to hear us talk about, feel free to mention it in the comment section when we get done running through the list the first time. And we can always go back. And talk about that game. Make sure you hit the thumbs up if you hadn't already. There's 250 people in here. That's pretty good. Only 93 thumbs up though. With 250 people in here, we ought to be able to get pretty close to 150 thumbs up. So if you're excited about this weekend's games, go ahead and hit that like button. It's a big help to a live stream. It's literally the easiest thing you can do to help support the show and the channel. If you would like to donate to tonight's show, me and Pete split everything 50-50. There is the super chat right below the comment section. There's a PayPal link and a Cash App link in the description of the video. I'll post the Cash App and the PayPal in the comment section one time real quick here. You can attach a note, question, comment, or troll attempt. And me and Pete will be happy to read it and respond. I agree, but says Vandy 12, Bama 21. Just don't type the same thing over and over again, because then it makes it impossible for anybody else to read anything anyone else types. Somebody timed you out. And if you're wondering why, that's probably why they timed you out, because you typed it like 11 times in a row.
Yeah, everybody sees it the first time.
Right. The reason no one responded is because you said Vandy 12, Bama 21, and that's just absolutely ridiculous. And you knew that. You knew that when you typed it all 11 times. Yeah. So, anyway, let's pull up the list of games and see what we can do here. All right, got some Thursday games. West Virginia loves these Thursday games, don't they? They play on the road at Virginia Tech. West Virginia, a 2.5-point road favorite. So you already know, Pete, you're taking the primetime home underdog, right?
Well, conventional wisdom would tell you so, but no, I'm not taking. I'm taking West Virginia in this. Right. I mean, look, these are 2 teams that are just not very good, but so yeah, like you said, conventional wisdom tells you take the home dog, primetime. I mean, I think West Virginia is just a better team than Virginia Tech. And the reason I know that is because I think Pitt's a decent team. So they lost a close game to a decent team on the road, week 1 or week 0 or whatever it was. Then they lost to Kansas. Everyone goes, "Oh my God, they lost to Kansas." Turns out Kansas isn't Kansas. I mean, they're not good, but they're not they're not what we.
They might be good, Pete. Have you watched any of? Have you? I've only watched. I've watched one half.
I haven't seen a single snap of Kansas football this year. I'm not going to lie. I've read the box scores and read just on the internet what people are saying about it. I haven't seen them.
I don't even know if I'm assuming the Kansas Duke game will be on TV somewhere. Try to watch at least a quarter of that this week. The Kansas offense is fun to watch. That Lance Leopold is not going to be there long. That I can guarantee you. This might be his last year there. He's good. And that offense is something.
So you're convincing me even more. You're proving my point. Is that I know Virginia Tech's terrible. I mean, you don't have to, there's nothing you can tell me that they're not. So West Virginia's been vindicated a little bit, I think, by the 2 teams they've lost to.
Yeah, and plus they clearly have the best quarterback in this game with JT Daniels-Christ.
Yes. So I'm gonna take Virginia at less than a field goal. Give me West Virginia even as the road favorite.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. There's no point in talking about this Coastal Carolina-Georgia State game, but I do want to ask you about Coastal Carolina's head coach. We've got a couple of coaching openings already, and this is going to start to become a trend, Pete. Forget buyouts for a second and when they go down and how much they are. Just pretend they don't exist for a second. This is the second year in a row now we're starting to see coaches fired in September. You used to never see that, ever. This early signing day is what's causing a lot of this. But this head coach for Coastal Carolina, now he's been mentioned for a few other jobs, but he's either not gotten them or chosen to stay at Coastal Carolina. We'll probably never know. But what do you think the chances are he's at Coastal Carolina next year, this guy? I can't remember his name. What's his name?
Chadwell?
Something like Jamie Chadwell. Yes, yeah. Jamie Chadwell.
And their offensive coordinator, Willie Korn, former Clemson quarterback, by the way.
Yeah. Another team, Coastal Carolina, with an unconventional offense. Coastal Carolina, Wake Forest, and Kansas might be the 3 funnest offenses to watch in all of college football. Not that they're the best offenses, but they're very unconventional. And they're fun to watch.
Coastal Carolina, they take a little bit out of every different type of offense and implement it. So it's like a smorgasbord, if that's the right word I'm looking for here.
Of course it is.
Of different styles of. They run a lot of triple option stuff too. They run spread, triple option, power. I mean, they're very. The reason that they're so hard to defend, I think, is because they're very unpredictable.
Yeah.
But I think that's mostly Willie Korn and Chadwell. But I've thought for the past 2 seasons that Chadwell was going to be picked up by somebody, and he hasn't. So I don't really know what the deal is with that.
Yeah.
But there might be a lot more openings this season than a normal year. So, and you got places like Arizona State. That might be a perfect place for him to go.
Yeah.
That man got fired on the field, bro.
That's what I heard in the end zone.
God damn. I mean, we've seen it on the tarmac, but
is there video of that? Is there video of that?
Yeah, there's definitely video of it. Yeah.
Okay.
I saw it on Twitter.
Okay, remind me before the show is over. I want to look that up and see if I can find it and play it.
So the thing about that is it looks to me, and I have no idea clearly, but it looks to me as if he already knew he was fired before they told him he was fired. It was almost like, hey, this is your last game. Go out there and give it your last hurrah, but this is your last game.
Okay.
Because he ran off the field and the athletic director and the president of the university met him in the end zone, and he started shaking hands and hugging with him. Like he knew he was gone.
Yeah.
So, but still, visually, it's like, I've never seen that before.
Dylan is informing me in the comments that Edward had to restart his computer. So,
so he's not coming on tonight then. All right. Thank you.
Well, I'll keep checking the StreamYard every few minutes. We'll run through as many of these games as we can, though, and before we bring our buddy Edward on. Let's get on to some of the early games on Saturday. Well, we've got some Friday games, but I don't know, Pete, do you want to even talk about Virginia-Syracuse? It's an ACC game. I don't know if you have any thoughts on that.
Well, the only thought I have on it is that Syracuse is favored by 10 points, and they're 3-0 right now.
Yeah. There was supposed to be an opening at Syracuse next year. Dino Babers out here trying to save his job, ain't he?
Yeah.
I mean, that's all I heard. Dino Babers was on the top of every ACC coaching hot seat list you could find this offseason.
I like to brag when I'm right because that's what I do. I was completely wrong on this. I
Me
had
too.
Syracuse winning 3 games the whole season. They're
Well,
3-0.
I made a coaching hot seat video and talked about Dino Babers, and I said, this is it. He's living off of that 1 year, 4 years ago when they won 9 or 10 games and beat Clemson, and other than that, he wins 4 games a year. The guy's got to go. Now here he is 3-0. So I don't know. He's trying to save his job there.
All of his success have come off the back of his quarterbacks. Whenever you had that 9-win season or 10-win season or whatever it was a few years ago, they had a great quarterback. They have a great quarterback now. If they have the quarterback that can run the offense that Babers runs, then then there's a serious danger to knock people off. I mean, they might be a 9 or 10 win season this year. Well, maybe not 10. That might be a bit much, but they could conceivably be 8 or 9 games, which would save his job.
Yeah. Dino Babers. Man.
Dino and Dabo. It's like the Flintstones in the ACC.
Dino and Dabo. All right, let's move on to some Saturday games. The first one on my list here, Maryland on the road at Michigan. Michigan's a 17-point home favorite. Both these teams are 3-0. Michigan has played 3 of the worst group of 5 teams on the planet. Hawaii, UConn, and I forget the third one. But 3 really bad teams. Now, that being said, they've outscored them something like 170-17. I think it's the first time in Michigan's history they've scored 50 points in each of their first 3 games. They are really, really good. Michigan is another team that if you haven't watched them and you just look at the teams that they've played, Michigan's really good, and they got a quarterback now. That J.J. McCarthy is no joke. I don't know what took so long for him to surpass Cade McNamara, but he makes that offense totally different. And I was a little worried about Michigan's running game because they lost Hassan Haskins or whatever his name was, who was really good. That Blake Corum. So far, Blake Corum might be the best running back in the Big Ten, not Travion Henderson. In fact, Travion Henderson might be the 3rd best running back or the 4th best running back in the Big Ten because Nick Singleton from Penn State is an absolute beast, and Muhammad Ibrahim at Minnesota is a beast. Blake Corum at Michigan. Michigan is really, really good, but I'm taking Maryland in the 17 points.
I'm taking Maryland in 17 points, too. I heard you say on the morning show today that possibly we could see 2 SEC teams and 2 Big Ten teams in the playoffs, and Michigan and Ohio State and Georgia and Alabama, which I guess is certainly possible. I'm with you. I think Michigan is a top 5 team, and anybody that doesn't have Michigan in their top 5 after 3 weeks, I think is just delusional. But I need to see them play a team with a pulse before I'm ready to crown them, a playoff team or anything like that. So,
yeah, me too. I think they're really good. And, the odds really of any conference getting 2 in are less than 50%. I mean, it's only happened twice in 8 years or whatever. The odds of the entire playoffs being made up of only 2 conferences, of course, are even way less than that. But it is possible if Georgia and Bama both go 12-0, or one goes 12-0, one goes 11-1, and the one-loss team wins in the SEC title game, which is exactly what happened last year. You have to assume Georgia and Bama are both going to get in under those circumstances. And if Ohio State and Michigan are both 11-0 when they play at the end of the year, it's possible they end up both getting in. Now, I think you would have to have multiple 2-loss conference champions. Notre Dame being in the toilet helps that scenario happen because that's one less team you got to worry about taking a spot there, Notre Dame. But, man, how quick would they expand the playoffs if that happened? This shit would be expanded the next day.
Yeah.
But Michigan has looked good. But, I talked a lot this offseason about Maryland. They got Pineapple Jr. He's been there a couple of years. He's not going to win the Heisman, but he's pretty good. And I think Maryland is good enough not to win the Big Ten East, obviously. It's probably the toughest division in football. But I do think Maryland is good enough to beat one of the big 3 in the Big Ten East, either Maryland, Penn State, or Ohio State. I don't know if they're going to win this weekend, but I will take Maryland in those 17 points on the road.
I'm taking the 17 points all day. And Michigan might go out there and win by 30. I don't know, but I'm just saying that I'm with you. I think that Maryland can they're scrappy and they can keep it close. And Michigan, they might get brought back down to reality a little bit this week, I think, by playing a team with a pulse, like I said before. So 17 points is too much.
Yeah. Give me the Turtles, but I do need the 17 points.
Yeah.
Let's see. You're up next on my list here. Clemson and Wake Forest. Clemson favored by 7. I'll let you take it away.
So the Taters, the either worst or second worst team in the ACC in covering the spread. Now, the reason that they are in that situation to begin with, especially last season, and maybe even the season before that, but definitely last season, is because they're favored by so much over every team that it's, it's a lower percentage to cover every week. So this is a low spread. So they're finally coming back down. It's been gradually dropping from week to week over the past 16 months. And now we got a 7-point game at Wake. Now just imagine that for a second. A 7-point favorite at Wake.
And remind us what the score of this game was last year.
Oh, the Clemson destroyed them.
Yeah.
They won by 40?
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah,
and
it was a lot.
No matter what anybody thinks about Clemson this year, good or bad, I don't think there's anybody that thinks Clemson's offense is worse this year than last year.
Well, look, hey.
Because it's not.
If you look at the statistics of yards per game, offensive yards per game, this is the best offense they've had in the past 4 years.
Okay.
Now look, this is not the best offense. So this is where I'm coming at with the stat thing. This is not the best offense that they had in 4 years. I'm not going to tell you that right now. But statistically, they are when you look at yards. So I think Clemson is a lock at -7 here. Now, could this be an upset? Sure. I mean, every week for Clemson right now and for the past year and this year has been a potential upset. So I get that. But I think Clemson's going to win this handily. I really do.
I just have a hard time. I like Wake Forest. I mean, I don't think there's anybody that doesn't. I don't think there's anybody out there that goes, man, I hate Wake Forest. I have no feeling about them one way or the other. They're like one of those teams when they're good, it makes me happy that they're good. Like Kansas being good. I'm like, wow, this is an interesting story. Kansas is 3-0. Vandy's 3-1. Whatever. I like those types of stories. And Sam Hartman's back. That's a great story because he had a great year last year. That terrible health news a couple of weeks before the season started this year. We didn't know how long he was going to be out. He gets to come back. That's great. To me, Wake Forest has looked a lot like what they looked like last year, which is a really good offense and no defense at all. Clemson looks offensively better than they looked last year with at least as good of a defense, maybe better. I just find it hard to believe that the outcome of this game is going to change that much in 1 year.
Clemson has been pretty disappointing defensively, if you ask me. I mean, I think they're ranked 45th in the country in total defense right now.
Yeah, they haven't been nearly as good as advertised, but they're still really good.
Well, they're still really good. And last week they had something like 7 starters out on defense. And so I got hammered for that with my criticism of Clemson's defensive play. But my whole thing on the whole offseason is this is not the best necessarily, but the deepest as far as, second string guys. You got a bunch of first string guys on first and second string is what my point was. And so blaming an injury or here or there, it doesn't fly with me. Every team's got injuries, but they did have a bunch of guys out last week and they gave up 20 to Louisiana Tech. But they get all those guys back except for Xavier Thomas this week. So they're going to be loaded on defense this week. And I think that Sam Hartman is going to have a long day.
Yeah.
So I don't think they'll score more than probably 10 or 14, even if they're playing well. I'm talking about Wake. Yeah. And look, DJ, I know people love to hate on the ukulele, and I even do it willingly and often. But he has actually played well this year. Now, you have to consider the competition, but I don't just look at the competition. I look at what is he doing. Is he making his first read? Is he staring down receivers? Is he throwing the ball accurately? All these things he's doing 10 times better than he did last year, and he has got zero help from the receivers. The receivers have been really the biggest disappointment on this team this year. And a couple of the young guys, freshmen and sophomores, are the ones that are stepping up. The veteran guys are the ones that are really dropping the ball right now, both literally and figuratively dropping the ball.
Yeah.
And so if they start to put stuff together offensively, then Clemson they'll hit their stride. Ironically, the running back room is solid. So, I mean, I think they should focus more on the run game because Clemson has always been a run-heavy team, especially in their success, and that opens up the passing game. But the running game and the defensive line have been both as advertised, but the receiver room and the secondary have been the biggest letdown so far. If they can put all four of those things together, then they'll be the Clemson that we all thought they were. They will be a top 5 team if they can do that. And if DJ can continue to play the way he's played the past 2 weeks, which has been his issue the whole time he's been there, is consistency. We've seen him play great games here and there, but he never puts it together 3 and 4 weeks in a row. So can he do that? This is really one of the games that I'm looking forward to the most, because I want to see if DJ can go on the road and put together his 3rd good game in a row.
Yeah.
Because that will be the first time he's ever done that. And this is his 3rd season.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
And where would you rank Wake Forest's home field advantage within the 14 teams in the ACC? Somewhere 10 to 14?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, there's no home field advantage.
Right. So other than it being an unfamiliar locker room and an unfamiliar environment, and is that even a plane ride or is it a bus trip?
No, I don't think so. I'm sure it'll take a bus to that.
You know, I get it. It is a road game, but I mean, it's not like you're playing at Florida State or wherever, name whatever other, or even at Virginia Tech or something. I mean, I just find it hard to believe that Wake Forest is going to be able to stay within 7 of Clemson. But we'll see. Dylan, thank you for the super chat. He says, I was on the phone with Edward earlier. Not sure why he's not in the room. He's back there now. We'll put him on here. We'll put you on in just a second, Edward. Chance, thank you for the super chat. I have a question for Pete. Is there anything that concerns you about Clemson in any games that make you nervous?
Well, if I'm being honest, every game makes me nervous right now. I don't really know how to respond to that. I'm definitely nervous about Florida State on the road, and mainly because it's on the road. I'm not so nervous as I used to be about Notre Dame, and they got all kinds of problems over there.
You're nervous about NC State. I don't know. Well, I do know why you won't admit it, because you just hate Dave Duren. You're nervous about NC State. I mean, we know you are.
I'm not. I mean, I plead the fifth. Look, Clemson's a playoff team in that. Look, playoff team in that. Stop.
That's like me if South Carolina ever got good, you know, and I had to try to admit I wasn't worried about the game. I hate South Carolina, but man, your hatred for Dave Duren is funny.
If I'm also somebody that looks at history, and they haven't won in Death Valley since George Bush was president. Coming off a double overtime loss last year, Dabo Swinney hates Dave Duren, and vice versa. I'm not as worried about NC State as I am about Florida State, and I'm being real there. And mainly that might be because it's more unfamiliar and it's on the road. But I just feel like that Clemson's going to show no mercy to NC State. And I'm telling you, those players don't like each other. The coaches don't like each other. The fans definitely don't like each other. Clemson hasn't lost a home game in almost 6 years. So I'm not as worried about it. It's going to be a sad, sad fucking day if on the Pigskin Pete YouTube channel if Clemson loses that game. I can tell you that right now.
It'll be sad for you, but it's going to be entertaining for the people that tune in to see your reaction to that one. Oh man, that would be good. Thank you for the super chat, Chance. Mike Luca, thank you for the super chat. He says, playing at the Taters week 11 after beating number 20 NC State on the road after going 9-1 is different than this week. Dirty secret neither fan wants to admit. Wake's offense and Clemson's defense have both had issues. And then he says,
well, Wake Forest has only had Sam Hartman for 2 weeks now.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, they went into Vanderbilt and looked like the Kansas City Chiefs of the Super Bowl year. I don't know.
And then he calls you a liar.
Who did?
Mike Luca.
Why'd he call me a liar?
He says last year Clemson won by 21. It was a one-possession game at the half, not 40. Liar.
No, well, I wasn't lying. I just didn't know. In my mind, it was a blowout.
I called you a liar. You liar.
Damn liar. He's over here lying on the internet.
Hey, Mike, take it easy on our boy Pete there. Jesse Stacy, thank you for the super chat. He says, Bills will win the Super Bowl. Bama will win the Natty. Best year of my life. Whoa, Todd, whoa. Let's go, Buffalo. You might be right on Buffalo. I'm not convinced Bama's even the second best team right now. You want to talk about somebody that's got issues. Bama. It's got issues. Mike Lucas says, Wake scored 28 on the Taters last year. Is he a Wake fan? Are you a Wake? I don't know. I don't know if he's a Wake Forest fan or he's on you about this Wake Forest.
Yeah, who knows? He just wants to see Clemson lose. Look, I get that. That's every week, though.
Yeah.
Every week, someone wants Clemson to lose. And same thing with Georgia, I'm sure. Just they can point and laugh at you. They don't care who you're playing.
Right.
Hell, last week I heard from people, you're going to get beat by Louisiana Tech. The DJ sucks. Taters suck. They can't catch the football. Their offensive lines. Everybody on the whole team sucks. Dabo sucks. The receivers suck. The offensive line sucks. The linebackers suck. I mean, anybody who puts on a jersey sucks.
And then when y'all beat Wake Forest, you know what they're going to say.
Well, they ain't no good, man.
Yeah, well, Wake Forest was no good.
Wake Forest ain't no good, man. Sam Hartman sucks too. Yeah, Sam Hartman sucks. Yeah, he'll probably be like the third or fourth quarterback taken in the draft, or maybe even higher than that.
Big Swaggy, thank you for hitting the PayPal link. He says, if Kansas ends up being good, I'm going to be real mad if my team's helmet has to stay upside down for a whole nother year. I think he's a Texas fan, so I have my Texas helmet upside down until they beat Kansas. Yeah, that game looks a lot more interesting now than it did 3 weeks ago. Oh, man, that would be something if Texas lost.
Taylor, man, I'm perturbed 18 out of 24 hours a day. The only 6 hours I'm not perturbed is when I'm sleeping. That's it.
Oh, boy. All right, let's bring Edward on. What's up, Edward?
How's it going, Lou, Pete? Happy Monday. Had to restart my computer. My apologies. I would have been on earlier if it weren't for that.
That's all right. That's all right, buddy. How was your weekend?
Oh, it was amazing, man.
Oh, good.
Very good. Very good.
Damn, amazing.
Yeah, I actually saw the Dragon Con parade, which was really nice.
Oh, yeah?
After like 3 years of not being able to see it, finally getting to see it.
Well, then that's something.
Yes.
Well, is it the first time you could see that parade since the pandemic? Is that why it's been 3 years?
Something like that.
We have all those pictures from you when you were at the Dragon Con a few years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on now. I feel like you've been talking about Dragon Con for like the past 3 weeks. How long is that festival?
Oh God, they usually do it to like is it Labor Day? They usually do it.
Yeah, that was like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just recently already went, and man, I mean, after because of 3 years, meaning haven't been able to go because either stuff happened or they was like, oh no, we're gonna have it on TV. Oh no, spectators, they're closing it for spectators. So all those kind of stuff I don't want to hear.
You're just there for the women, aren't you? Basically,
I'm there. There it is. You got it. Yeah. You can't fool. I can't be.
Yeah.
You got me.
Nothing gets past me. I have an amazing grasp for the obvious.
Yeah.
You must have what they call ESP. That's it.
Right.
Mm-hmm. It has eyeballs too.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
And they work. So
yeah, but yeah, Dragon Con. Oh man, it's awesome. You guys would love it.
All right, Edward. Well, who's on the chopping block today?
All right, on the chopping block, also known as the clowning block, we got BYU and Master at Work.
Let's just do BYU.
Yeah, let's just do BYU. Skip the other one.
Skip it. All right. Okay. Viewer discretion is advised. Parental advisory. If there's anybody here in the StreamYard or in the comment section, private chat that needs to go get water, go to the restroom, refill water, please do so at this time. No? Well, guess what? You've been warned. Buckle your seatbelts because this is going to be a bumpy ride. Okay, BYU, time for you to get your ass into the clowning box, take your medicine, eat your crow. Hey, BYU, no buffet for you. Well, BYU, you travel to Oregon to play the Ducks, quack, quack, and you get beat bad. Lou, hit the you big dummy for me, please.
You big dummy.
Not only that, that's about enough. Okay. I love it because I hate BYU. You discriminate against everything. Oregon got blown out by Georgia 49-3. So much for them not playing anyone. But you lose to them by 3 touchdowns. So you know what, BYU? You boys can get on your stupid bicycle, ride back to Provo, Utah, go hunting for skinwalkers, and trying to convince people about a second gospel. Pete, hit the BS for me, please.
That is bullshit! That is bullshit!
Oh, God. You know, BYU, you garbage. Oh, ooh. See BYU in here? BYU, see this? You see yourselves here? You see BYU in here? BYU's garbage. You know what else, BYU? Here's what I got to say to you. Pete, hit the F yourself for me, please.
Yeah, you can go fuck yourself.
Yeah. And that's the bottom line because I said so, you stupid pricks.
Wow. You even threw skinwalkers in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were pretty serious on that one.
Mm-hmm.
Let me ask you this, Edward. It's not related to football, but
Sure.
you're into like Dragon Con type stuff. Are you watching House of the Dragon?
Well, I watch the parade when I go down there.
No.
He's talking about the TV show.
You know the show Game of Thrones?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's a prequel that's out now called House of the Dragon. Are you watching that?
I haven't seen that. I have to check that out for sure.
All right, I was just curious.
Maybe if YouTube has something like that, I might check
No,
it
it's on HBO.
It's on HBO Max. And if you like dragons, which you clearly do, and you like women in tight costumes, then this is a show for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So what else is going on, Edward?
Well, not much really. Just, been doing my thing as always, coming on here when I'm supposed to, doing this, which I enjoy.
What about the streams over on your channel? How have those been going?
Oh, yeah, not bad. I just did one Tuesday. I'll be back Saturday to do a live.
That's great news.
Yeah.
On Saturday, though, everybody will be
Yes.
watching football then, but
Yeah.
Yeah, not a great time to do it, but
I'll be doing a 2-hour Saturday, so
yeah.
8 p.m. I usually stream evening time, so.
yeah.
Well, good luck with that. I'll be watching football, though, unfortunately.
Oh, yeah. Hey, no problem, man. No problem.
Yeah, I'll
It's all
stop it
good.
if I can, but I can't make any promises,
Right. Yeah. But yeah, definitely. Yeah, I watched Michigan put a beating on UConn. We know UConn's nothing, so. And
Well, Edward, what about you're a Florida State fan? What about your Seminoles, sir? They're 3-0 for the first time in
which
a long
I'm very
time.
happy about. Hopefully, we can go 6-0 and play Clemson. If we have to take an L, I'd rather take an L to Clemson than anyone else.
Who do they play this week?
Well, I know they just played Louisville.
I don't know who they play this week, or are they off? I don't know.
No, they just had a bye. And then they played Louisville in Louisville.
Play Boston College.
Boston
Oh,
College.
so they're going to be 4-0.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
Boston College is horrible.
yeah, they're doo-doo, just like Notre Dame.
Boston College, Georgia Tech, and Virginia Tech are in an arms race to see who the worst team in the ACC is. They're all terrible.
It's got to be Georgia Tech.
You think so?
Oh,
They worse
man,
than
I
Boston
do.
College?
Yeah.
Maybe.
I think so. They're in give-up mode, man. 42-0 to Ole Miss. I mean, just no signs of life at all.
Yeah.
At home.
Oh my God.
Yeah, they just got. I mean, it was just it wasn't even worth. I love laughing at Georgia Tech, and I couldn't even get any enjoyment out of that. It was that bad.
Yeah, I know.
It was that bad.
I don't know if you checked in on Sea Dog's stream. He was just streaming. I'm starting to feel sorry for the guy. I like Sea Dog. You know that.
I want to feel first of all, I love Sea Dog, and I want to feel sorry for him for how terrible his team is. But he doesn't allow me to do that because he puts on the Oregon hat, and then he puts on the South Carolina hat, and then soon he'll have on the Auburn. He actively roots for whoever Georgia's playing, so it makes it hard for me as a Georgia fan to then feel sorry for him every time Tech gets humiliated. I feel sorry for him as a person, but as far as his fanhood goes, it's kind of like I think he's kind of getting what he deserves for actively just rooting for Georgia to lose every week.
Because he's doubling his misery on purpose every week by rooting against Georgia and then rooting for Georgia Tech. And then on top of that, this is even worse. This is something that Pigskin Pete would never do. I would not invite a bunch of South Carolina fans over to my house to watch Clemson games with me every week.
Mm-mm.
He invites a bunch of Georgia fans over there to laugh at him while he's in his misery.
Yeah. My favorite part about his live streams, because I'll be honest, a lot of the stuff where he's just sitting on his couch watching the game, to me, is kind of boring. When I'm watching somebody do a live stream, I like Carolina Jackpot, who's constantly yelling or something. But when something really bad happens and he gets up and grabs, I don't know whether it's his phone or a camera he's using or what, but when he gets up out of the couch and walks up and grabs the TV or the camera and starts walking around with it, that's pure gold. That's pure gold.
I don't know if it's. I think it might be his phone because he slapped it the other day and it went across the room, and us viewers were getting a view of the carpet from 10 feet away. And then he got mad about that on top of the football game. I mean, it was pure gold.
Yeah. Edward, we're going to talk about some more of these football games. If you want to hang around, if there's time at the end of the show, we'll bring you back on. It's up to you, but we're going to run through these list of games real quick.
Okay.
You want to hang around or what? You got something you got to do or?
I'll hang out.
Okay. All right. Well, we're gonna get back to these games real quick here and finish this up. We got a ways to go here. We did Clemson and Wake Forest. Me and Pete both like Clemson in that one. Kent State and Georgia. I mean, come on, it's a 44.5 point favorite. I'm not betting that game. Georgia might win by 40. They might win by 60. It's up to Georgia. So I'm not gonna bet that game. You got any thoughts on that, Pete? Just to spread that high.
I think they could easily win by, like you said, they can win by whatever they want. I just don't. I don't like that. When numbers get up around 43, 44, and 49 and shit, I don't trust it.
Yeah, and I'm starting to hear some things that Georgia may be looking to rest some players this week that aren't injured, but that might be a little bit banged up, almost like not an extra bye week, but like our number one wide receiver is already out, A.D. Mitchell. He would probably play this week if it was a meaningful game. And who knows, maybe he will play, but he didn't play against South Carolina. I'm thinking they probably hold him out again. There's some talk of holding Ladd McConkey out of this game, who's the number 2 wide receiver. So I don't know. I'm going to stay away from that. Clearly, Georgia could win this game by as much as they want, but there's just not much point in talking about it, really, I don't think.
I don't either.
Now, this next one, Baylor at Iowa State, and Iowa State's favored by 2.5. I can tell you right now, I'm going to take Baylor anytime they're getting points this year. So I'm going to take Baylor in the 2.5. I love Dave Aranda. I know Baylor lost on the road to BYU. I still think Baylor could win the Big 12. I still think they're really good. Oklahoma's really good. Texas, I'm on the fence with Texas right now. Oklahoma State looks like a runaway train. They look really good, but I like Baylor. I know it's at Iowa State. Nobody's ever won there, but anytime I can get points with Baylor this year, I'm going to take them. I'm going to take Baylor in the points.
Unfortunately for the viewers, I think we've agreed on virtually every game so far.
Yeah.
But I agree with you again here. I honestly don't know why Baylor is an underdog here, but they lost week 1. I'm with you. I still think that Baylor is in the race for the Big 12, mainly with Oklahoma and Texas. At this point, Oklahoma State, they're not in the running anymore, are they? I mean, they are technically, but
who? Texas?
No, Oklahoma State. I mean, Texas is.
Oklahoma State's undefeated.
Are they?
They're in the top 10.
Oh,
they're scoring like 60 points a game.
Well, I know offensively they're good. Anyway, Baylor's still in the running.
Yeah, I think so too.
I like Baylor as an underdog here.
All right. I like this next game, too. Duke and Kansas. We talked about it a little bit earlier. These are basketball skews, but neither one of these teams have a loss yet. Kansas is a 9-point home favorite. Now, Pete, I've watched more Kansas than I have Duke, and you already know what I think about Kansas's coach and their offense. It's amazing. Unless you're going to have to give me a reason to take Duke here, because if not, I'm taking Kansas and laying the 9.
Well, this is the first one we disagree on. That give me Duke.
Well, tell me why. What do I not know about Duke that I need to know?
I don't know.
Okay. Fair enough. This is why people tune in. South Florida at Louisville.
Offensively, Duke looks really good. And look, they've come out of nowhere. That was another team preseason, and I thought that it was going to be like a 3-win team. I think we all did.
Okay, offensively, they're good?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll take over 64.
I like that better. Yeah.
Because I know Kansas is good on offense. I'll take the over 64.
You coming through with the over-under.
Huh? Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You coming through with the over-under.
I'm expanding my horizons, Pete.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah. South Florida and Louisville, I don't care anything about that or have any thoughts on it. Louisville's an ACC team. You got anything you need to say there?
Well, this is interesting because South Florida, look, let's do the transit property thing here, okay? So South Florida gives Florida a decent game. I mean, they still lost, but they give Florida a decent game. They go to so who's better, Florida or Louisville?
I would think Florida.
You would think so, right?
Yeah.
Now, so 13 points.
Yep.
Look, South Florida's no good. I guess maybe, yeah, I'm with you. Give me Louisville here.
Okay. All right, good. I'm going to skip this next one, and then we got Missouri and Auburn. Auburn got just absolutely that's the worst home loss for Auburn. And I want you to think about some of the teams Auburn plays every year. That's the worst home loss for Auburn since that year they went 3-9, like 2011 or 2012, whatever year that was. I mean, absolutely annihilated by Penn State everywhere. Special teams, lines of scrimmage, skill positions, you name it. Auburn's a 7-point home favorite. They're in give-up mode. Give me Mizzou into points. Mizzou's not any good, but give me Mizzou into points.
They're both bad, really bad.
There's blood in the water in Auburn right now. I'm going to take Mizzou.
Yeah. Oh, man, I don't like this game at all.
I don't either. I won't bet money on it, but for the show purposes, I'm going to take Mizzou.
This is a shock to the system to take Missouri.
Yeah, it is.
But
you remember what happened last year when Auburn started tanking? They lost to South Carolina.
Yeah.
Now, it's a little early in the year to be tanking, but that was a beating of biblical proportions they took this past weekend.
Yeah, I have a hard. First of all, I'm not touching this game, but I'm taking Auburn though.
All right.
In Missouri, they're. We were just talking about the ACC. What's the 3-way tie for the worst teams in the SEC? Is it Missouri, Vanderbilt, and who else?
South Carolina.
Wait, not Auburn?
Oh, not Vandy. I mean, it's Mizzou, Auburn,
okay,
South Carolina. I wouldn't even put Vandy in that category.
Vandy in there?
No.
Wow.
No. Vandy might beat South Carolina. Bobby Wire will.
Oh my God.
Bobby will. I mean, South Carolina's got the worst quarterback in the SEC. Guy can't complete a pass.
Oh, you hate to see it, don't you?
You do. You really do. You really do hate to see it. TCU at SMU. TCU's favored by 1. I don't care about that game.
I don't either.
Let's see what else is good. Oh, here we go. Florida and Tennessee. Probably the game of the week, at least from an entertainment standpoint. Tennessee is like 1-18 in their last 19 against Florida, but they're an 11-point home favorite. I'm taking the Vols. I have a feeling. Look, I either think Tennessee is going to lose this game close or they're going to win by 3 touchdowns. I don't think Tennessee is going to win this game by 7 points. I think they blow them out or they pull a Tennessee and lose in the last minute. I think it's more likely they blow them out. I'm going to take Tennessee and lay the 11.
I'm going to take Tennessee and lay the 11. I'm also going over the 62. I think this could be like 45-20.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Sunbelt Billy, not looking good.
I actually like the over 62.5 better than the spread, but I would take Tennessee at -11.
I want to see what the comments has to say about
Is that
what
what
y'all-
game day is? I think it
Yeah,
is.
yeah, game day there. What do y'all think in the comments about that? Tennessee -11. Who would y'all take? Would y'all take Tennessee and lay the points, or do you think Florida can keep it close or possibly win the game? Jesse Stacy, thank you for the super chat. Oh, I read that already. Buffalo Bills fan. Pizza Fest, thank you for the super chat. Wants to know, is Edward a Vols fan? Because that's a nice mustard stain on his shirt. Edward, you a Tennessee fan? And do you have a mustard stain on your shirt?
No. No, I'm an FSU fan.
Let us see that shirt. Somebody said there's a mustard stain on it. Is that true?
No, it's from salt. It's
oh, that's some kind of a now that is that mustard?
There's something going on there. What is that? Oh my God, bro. So what'd you eat tonight?
I had some like pasta, some like sauce.
That's some Alfredo sauce, maybe.
SpaghettiOs?
No, some red sauce.
Oh, some red sauce.
SpaghettiOs has red sauce.
Yeah, this is another type of pasta.
Ravioli?
No, well, almost like ravioli, but it's,
Okay.
it's one of those like shell. What do you call it? Those like it's hard to describe.
So
it.
the sauce on the sauce on your shirt, is that an accident, or are you saving that for later?
No, I accidentally went on my shirt.
Okay, just wanted to double check on
Edward
that.
thinks that we won't understand what kind of pasta he ate. He keeps going, oh, something else. Well, what was it?
Yeah, it's one of those like pasta with the I forget. I can't. It's hard to describe.
Mom spaghetti.
Hold on a second.
Knees weak, arms are heavy. There's vomit on his sweater already. Mom
He had
spaghetti.
pasta shells and cheese. That's what it was.
He's nervous, but he looks strong and ready to drop bombs. But he keeps on forgetting what he wrote down.
Edward was seen on video throwing up the U the other night.
Who?
So we've got mass mutiny going on here. We got Slim Shady Canes pretending that he's a Miami fan, but he really roots for Florida State. And then we got Edward pretending he's a Florida State fan. He's out there throwing up the U.
Damn.
I don't know what's going on in Florida. The drugs are strong down there.
Yeah, something going
guys.
on.
Sorry about that.
Ethan Hewlett, thank you for the super chat. He says, breaking news, Jeff Collins, lifetime contract. Go Dogs, Lou. I said on the video earlier, the only way Jeff Collins keeps his job is if Georgia Tech really just doesn't care at all about football anymore, which is a possibility. It is a possibility. Mike Luca, thank you again. Let's see what he says this time. Tater man having to cope when presented with facts as, quote, everybody just hate Clemson, unquote, is so rich. Can't wait to mash some taters Saturday. Go Deeks. Oh, so he is a Wake Forest.
Oh,
fan.
he is a dig. Come over on my channel, man. How come you don't ever come around the ACC show?
I haven't seen very many Wake Forest fans around
Yeah,
here. It's
but
good to have you in
one-
here.
Once a year when they play Clemson, then they crawl back in their fucking hole. That's what this guy's doing too.
Georgia Tech fans are that way with Georgia. Well, not
And
Sea Dog,
everybody
but
hates. Yeah, not everybody hates Clemson, but everybody hates somebody that's a perennial top 5 team.
why would anybody hate poor little old Clemson?
Yeah, no, I don't know.
Damn Dabo, sweetie, man. Poor little old Clemson.
I think he's trolling
He might be. I don't know.
because he smiles when he says it now. He says little old Clemson, he smiles, and he knows he's pissing people off.
Oh, man. All right. Let's see. Where are we at here? Okay. Yeah, so me and you both agree Tennessee -11, and you like the over 62.5. Okay.
I do.
All right. James Madison at App State, we don't need to talk about, but did you see the ending of the App State game? It was unbelievable.
Oh my God.
That Hail Mary at the end, that was crazy. Game day was there. What an ending that was.
Yeah, it was. And James Madison is new to the Sun Belt, right? They were a FCS
Yes.
team that got upgraded.
Yep.
So they're not a bad team. But still, give me App State at home -7.5. But I mean, I also like the over 58 in that game. I like a lot of overs tonight.
Notre Dame and North Carolina.
Oh my God.
And it's a pick 'em, Pete. What in the world is going on here? Now, look, to be fair, playing North Carolina can cure a lot of offensive problems because their
Yeah.
defense is bad.
It's terrible.
But man, I haven't so much as seen a pulse from Notre Dame offensively all year. They're playing a second string quarterback now. Now this will be a second game, so maybe a little bit better than last week. But they had to survive a miracle to beat Cal to get their first win this past week. Of course, the loss to Ohio State and then Marshall. I don't see how anybody can pick Notre Dame here. I mean, it seems like you either have to not play the game or pick North Carolina. I'm going to pick North Carolina at home.
I'm going to take the over 50. Another over. Give me. There might be 80 points scored in this game. So give me. I mean, has there been a game that North Carolina played that hasn't been over 59?
Well, that North Carolina App State game, App State alone, I think, scored 40 in the fourth quarter.
Yeah. Well, they scored over 60 together in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
So yeah, give me over the 59. I don't even know what that. But I'll tell you one thing: Notre Dame is not a playoff team in that.
Playoff team in that.
They are definitely. They've even given up. Their fans have given up.
Playoff team in that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Their fans have given up.
I'm taking the Tar Heels, man. I can't trust Notre Dame at all. At all. They look lost. Man, shout out to our boy Always Irish, man.
Jesus. Life shouldn't be that stressful. If this is my show 2 weeks in, by week 10, I'm going to be doing the show from a casket.
Boy, he's entertaining, man. He is entertaining. I hate to say this because I guess me and him aren't friends, but like he came on the show. I like him. He seems like a really nice guy. So I feel bad like wanting his team to lose. But his rants and his rage is so hilarious. It definitely doesn't hurt my feelings when Notre Dame loses because I know I get to go to his channel and watch him melt down, and it's just hilarious. He's so entertaining, that guy. He's got a gift, that guy. He's really good.
Yeah, he's got the Midwestern getting angry thing going for him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look, I've been trying to tell you guys about him for years. Now you all know.
Yeah, I don't know what took us so long to jump on that train, but man, that guy is entertaining and he knows what he's doing. I wouldn't be surprised to see his channel take off some this year.
Hey, congratulations to him too. He quit his full-time job and is doing YouTube full-time now.
Oh, good for him.
Yeah, just like a couple of weeks ago.
Wow, I didn't know that. He made the leap. Well, good for him.
Made the leap.
Yeah.
And I don't know what else he's got going on. I don't know if he has podcast. I think he has podcasts, and also maybe he might be on some radio station. But he's gone full in on the YouTube deal. So
well, let me post his. I'm going to post his link in the comment section. If any of y'all don't know who we're talking about, he's a Notre Dame fan. He goes by the name Always Irish, but he is very entertaining, very funny, very knowledgeable. And you guys should check him out. He's been on the show before. I just posted a link to his channel. He's apparently gone full time. So check him out. If you like what you see, subscribe to his channel and tell him Uncle Lou and Pete said good morning.
I mean, look, here's one thing you have to understand about him. He's not doing content about anybody else other than Notre Dame.
Right. It's just Notre Dame content. That's it.
It's just Notre Dame.
Yeah.
But and that's the reason I think that a lot of people, whenever me and him used to do a show together called Always Pigskin, Always Irish and Pigskin Pete. Mm-hmm. But the Clemson fans didn't have any interest in watching a Notre Dame podcast. And I kept telling him, I was like, look, I don't care if he's talking about Rutgers. The guy's entertaining. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, congratulations to him. And also, he's a really nice guy. I mean, I've got to know him over the years, you know, off of YouTube a little bit. And he's just a super nice guy.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, y'all check him out. All right, moving right along. Oh, here we go. Minnesota at Michigan State. Minnesota's a 2.5-point road favorite. Michigan State with an embarrassing performance this past weekend against Washington. Gave up 400 yards passing in that game. So same problems as last year for Michigan State defensively. They were worst in the country against the pass last year. Did them again this past weekend. They take their first loss. Minnesota's on a roll. I'm going to take Minnesota and lay the 2.5. I expected a drop back from Michigan State this year versus what they did last year. I did not expect Minnesota to be as good as they are, so I'm going to take Minnesota here.
I'm going to take the home team. Is that Minnesota?
Michigan State. Michigan State's the home team.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll take them then.
All right, you're going to take Michigan
But-
State in the 2.5.
What are you looking at right now?
DraftKings.
Oh, that's why okay. That makes sense.
Let's see. If I skip anything you want to mention, then you just jump right in. I'm just because especially if we're looking at two different lists here. Oregon at Washington State. Oregon's favored by only 6.5, just under a touchdown. I'll take Oregon. All these Oregon ain't no good people are looking sillier and sillier with every day that goes by. Give me the real Ducks to win by a touchdown.
Yeah, give me the Ducks too. I'm with you on this thing. That I don't think Oregon. I think you've got some maybe 4 actual legit teams in the Pac-12 right now. You've got Oregon, Washington, Southern Cal, and who am I missing here?
Utah.
Yes, Utah. Thank you.
Yeah.
There's the 4 that I think are legit teams, and Oregon got sort of dismissed by everybody because how bad Georgia beat them down in the first week. But of course, we've seen what Georgia's done to everybody since then. It's pretty much par for the course. And guess what? I know this. People don't like to hear this, but guess what? Teams do improve from week 1 to week 2 to week 3. Some of them do.
Yeah, especially teams with brand new coaching staffs.
Yeah. So,
yeah,
I'm with you. Give me Oregon.
All right. Man, Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech on the road at Central Florida. Why does Georgia Tech do this to themselves?
Oh.
Central Florida is a 20-point home favorite over Georgia. If Central Florida is favored by 20 over Georgia Tech, Pete, what is the Georgia Tech line going to be? It's going to be in the 40s.
It might be 50. Do you know what's even more sad about this game? UCF is paying Georgia Tech to come there.
No, stop it.
No, I'm telling you.
Oh, my God.
Now, they're paying them like $400,000 or something to come there.
Jesus.
Oh, man.
I don't know if I'm going to lay 20 points with UCF, but there's no way I'm putting $1 on Georgia Tech. That's a skip for me.
I'm going to tell you what. And this will be give me UCF minus 20.
Okay. Shout out to C-Dog, man. I didn't have the heart to do it, but you did.
Hey, we got the ACC show tomorrow night. Y'all check us out, C-Dog. We're talking about this for at least 20 minutes.
Oh, boy. Another good game in the SEC, Arkansas and Texas A&M. Neutral site game, technically, in Dallas, I believe.
This is a good game.
Jerry World. Texas A&M coming off a win over Miami. Arkansas, did they get caught looking ahead last week? They were losing to Missouri State for a large part of that game before coming back and winning at the end. But Arkansas is a 2.5-point underdog in that game. I'm going to take Arkansas.
We can do hot takes here, right?
Oh, of course.
All right, hot take. It might not even be that hot of a take, really. Arkansas is going to finish second in the West.
That's very possible.
I even heard some people say they might win the West. What do you think about that?
Bama plays there in a couple of weeks. That's going to be a great game. You know, they almost beat Bama last year. It came down to an onside kick.
Yeah.
And, you know, I know the Bama fans, you know, they think every year is whatever their best year was, and they're blowing everybody out by 40. It might be time to start reevaluating. Alabama, especially on the road, the last couple of years, has not been the dominant team that we saw for a 7 or 8 year period. It's just not the same. Whether that's because the other teams have caught up or something's going on at Bama, I don't know. But Bama's got offensive line issues. They've got wide receiver issues. You know, outside of Jahmyr Gibbs, where's a running back? Will Anderson can't stay on sides. Bryce Young threw 2 interceptions against Louisiana Monroe. They committed 17 penalties or something against Texas A&M. I don't know what's going on, but the idea, the mindset that Bama just shows up places and beats people by 40, we need to recalculate that. Could Bama beat Arkansas by 40? Of course. I've seen Bama show up and do crazy things, but that's going to be we're getting ahead of ourselves with that game, but that's to your point. Could Arkansas win the West? It's possible. I still don't.
Second in the West. I'm not saying they're
second
winning,
is definitely possible. I mean, they could beat Bama and still not win the West, because the problem with Arkansas is, though, even though they're really well coached, I don't think they can play consistently good enough throughout the course of the year to not lose 2 games. Even if they beat Bama. You know, they could beat Bama and go 10-2.
Yeah.
They don't have the depth. Injuries would really hurt Arkansas a lot more than it would hurt somebody like Clemson, Georgia, Bama, Ohio State, Oklahoma, whatever, the teams that recruit an elite level, you know.
Some people think that Alabama's going to lose 2 games too, so that would be the tiebreaker if that happened.
That would, yeah. Then in that case, yeah.
So some people are saying Arkansas on the money line. First of all, from a betting standpoint, what plus 115 to me is not worth taking a money line bet.
Right.
So to take the points, if it's only plus 115, it's not that much difference in the payout. And you get every point you can in a game like this, but especially since it's A&M.
Yeah.
But I think Arkansas probably will win this game. I'm really down on A&M right now.
Yeah. Their offense doesn't even exist.
The new quarterback is definitely better than the old one, but I'm still, I don't know. I think Arkansas is a well-rounded team right now.
I need you to stop referring to him as the new quarterback and put some respect on Mark Richt Nephew's name.
Well, the new starting quarterback for A&M.
That's Mark Richt's nephew. I need you to put some respect on his name. His name is Max Johnson.
Yeah, Max Johnson, who ironically handed A&M their worst loss last season. That's why they went out and got him out of the transfer portal.
Yeah. But I'm going to take Arkansas on this one. Would I be surprised if Texas A&M won this game? No, but Arkansas just so far this year has looked like a better team. Texas A&M's defense is legit, no question about it. They've had a top 5 defense 4 years in a row nationally, not just in the SEC. They're really, really good defense. But outside of A-Chain on offense, that running back, there's just nothing that even makes me worry. I mean, okay, Max Johnson played better than Haynes King. That's like saying Edwards' shit stinks a little bit less than yours. Neither one of them are great. I'm going to have to take Arkansas here. I want the points too, but I'm going to have to take Arkansas.
I'm taking Arkansas.
All right, good.
I'm taking the points. Not
yeah,
the
me
money
too.
line.
Yeah, me too. Here we go. Wisconsin on the road at Ohio State. Wisconsin lost last week to Washington State. What? Wow. Ohio State's an 18-point home favorite. Is Ohio State ever going to play a road game?
No.
Okay.
They have 18 games in a row at home.
Okay. Yeah, them and Auburn, too. Auburn's first 5 games of the year at home.
Yeah.
Ohio State's an 18-point home favorite. I've been picking a lot of underdogs. I'm tempted to do it again, but I was down on Wisconsin in the preseason. I don't like their quarterback.
I have an understanding here about Ohio State.
Huh?
What are you doing? I thought we had an understanding.
That's what I'm saying. I'm going to take Ohio State. I've been taking a lot of underdogs. I'm going to go ahead and take Ohio State and lay the 18. Maybe Wisconsin's defense plays out of its mind and it ends up being like a 31-20 type of game or something. But I don't know. Wisconsin's been disappointing. Give me the suck nuts. Lay the 18 at home.
I'm with you. They'll win this by at least 3 touchdowns. And again, Ohio State's going to cover more often than they don't. And so after week 1, we saw them play a close game for the majority of the game with Notre Dame. They didn't cover that game, did they? No, they didn't.
No, they were like a 17 or 18-point favorite. Yeah. It was 21-10.
Yeah. And so, but I'm taking Ohio State virtually every week. Unless it's a crazy number, I'm taking Ohio State every week. And 18 is not a crazy number to me. At home in the shoe, give me the Buckeyes.
Mike Luca with another super chat says, Pigskin Pete, I will definitely be checking out your channel more. That's nice. See, now y'all done made up. Now that's good. Now y'all can be ACC buddies.
Yeah, well.
After this weekend, because y'all are playing each other this weekend. But after that, y'all can be ACC buddies. That's
hey, check out the ACC show tomorrow night. Believe me, you'll have a good time if you're an ACC
Yeah,
fan.
it is a good show. Check it out. It's a really good show. Here we go. Speaking of playing the underdog, Vanderbilt on the road at Alabama. Alabama's a 39-point favorite. Give me Vandy.
Damn.
Give me Vandy. And every last one of those 39 points.
You know what's great about this is, well, I don't know about DraftKings. I'm on bet now, but no money line bet.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, not on here either. You can't bet the money line on here either.
Yeah.
Wow.
Which would be a ridiculous payout, probably. That's why. But anyway, I don't know. So let's do the math here. 57.5 total, 40 the line. So that's 17.5. So they think Vanderbilt's going to score 17.5 points. That's what I'm getting out of this?
Yeah.
Man, shit. Give me Alabama at -5. You know what? I'm not going to bet it because I just got done telling you guys. Once it gets around 40, I really have a hard time taking anybody. But give me -40. Alabama at home against Vanderbilt. I mean, say it ain't so, bro.
A night game too. A night game.
Prime time.
Yeah.
And they're going to have the LED lights on against Vanderbilt.
Oh yeah, yeah. That dollar store light show they got.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, let's see what else I can find on here.
Say
Well,
it
your
ain't
your your buddies over in South Carolina are favored by 22 at home against Charlotte. I'm gonna take the Gamecocks in that one.
Shit. Are you sure about that?
I'm positive.
All right.
Well, I want to see if they get the starters back. To be fair to South Carolina, they were missing 5 starters on defense this past weekend. 5. And when you're going up against Georgia, I mean, not that South Carolina would have won the game, but I mean, 5 starters, that's a lot. That's half your defense. Maybe they get some of those guys back. I don't know. I feel bad. Georgia whooped them like they did. Give me the Gamecock lay to 22 at home. You say no, though. You say take the Charlotte.
I say no. Charlotte knocked up a couple teams last year. I mean, they are who they are, but they're not Citadel. Well, I take that, but Citadel beat South Carolina a couple years ago, didn't they? So forget that. They're probably better than Citadel, though. I mean, yeah. All right, man. Give me the Gamecocks. What the fuck? Trying to, I mean. Give me the Gamecocks. Guys, somebody can cut that out, too. If they want to.
8 o'clock, Kansas State. Another team that got caught looking ahead last week and toted an L, their first loss of the season to Tulane. They play on the road at the Fighting Brent Venables, Pete, Oklahoma, and the Sooners are a 13-point home favorite. What say you, sir?
Oklahoma has really impressed me, both offensively and defensively this season so far. Give me Oklahoma.
I'm going to take Kansas State. I'm tempted to take the money line, but I'll take the 13 points. I think Kansas State might beat them.
In Norman.
Stormin' Norman. You heard me right. Deuce Vaughn is going to run wild this weekend. That's my prediction.
Is he?
That's what I don't know. Oklahoma probably win, but I'm going to take Kansas State in the 13 points. I want to see some good games, man. Give me Kansas State in the 13. Maybe they can keep it close. What is Kansas State? What is it?
Look, I'm not really confident. I mean, I know Oklahoma's decent. I mean, not better than decent. They're a top 5 team right now, in my opinion. But give me Oklahoma in the points. I'm not. Well, I mean, they're the favorite. Never mind. I'd probably take the under 52 though. In this.
Here you go, an ACC game. Boston College and Florida State. Florida State 16.5. How long has it been since Florida State's been a 16.5 point favorite against an ACC team? Probably been a while.
Couple of years.
Yeah. Florida State's on a roll, though, aren't they? Came back and beat Louisville in the fourth quarter on Friday. Mm-hmm. Man.
I mean, they're in good company, man. They're right up there undefeated along with Duke and Syracuse. I mean, they're killing it right now.
Right. Is 16.5 too much or what? How bad is Boston College?
Give me Florida State. They're that bad.
I'm gonna take the Noles too. They're on a roll.
We're gonna see. Most likely, Syracuse is gonna be undefeated at 4-0. Most likely, Florida State's gonna be 4-0. I mean, think about that. I wonder if there's a bet on that before. I mean, I'm sure you can bet on anything in Vegas, and not on these sites. But like, if you go to an actual sports book in Vegas, what would the payout have been if you had bet that Duke would have been 4-0, or Syracuse would have been 4-0, or even Florida State would have been 4-0 after 4 weeks?
Well, what if you'd have parlayed it?
Parlayed it, hell, you'd be a millionaire. 1 in 10 million, bro. Look what that is.
Oh man, it's been a weird year already. We're only 3 weeks in. It's only going to get crazier from here too. If watching college football for 30 years has taught me anything, it's that expect the unexpected in a lot of these games. Southern Cal on the road at Oregon State, 2 undefeated teams.
This is one of the best games of the week.
I think so too. I'm going to take Southern Cal under a touchdown, though. I'm buying their offense here. I think it goes nuts again. Give me Lincoln Riley, late a 6.5 on the road, 9:30 at night game there. At least that's not too late. That's not. Sometimes those Pac-12 games don't come on until 10:30 or 11. At least this one comes on at 9:30.
6 o'clock. 6 o'clock their time, or 6:30 their time.
Yeah.
So, I'm with you. I'm buying into USC. Maybe it's premature.
Yeah.
But and also Oregon State. It's not just this year, is it? I mean, last year they were decent. I feel like this could be one of the best games of the week. I'm highlighting this as a must-watch game. It was one of the ones I put on my poll for the members-only streams. I said either Tennessee and Florida or USC and Oregon State. And everyone's like, why would you put USC and Oregon State in the poll, Pete? I'm like, because I think it's going to be a fun game to watch.
Yeah, I do too. I don't think a lot of people have watched Southern Cal play this year. They had the one game against Stanford, but other than that, they played a couple of, I think, group of 5 teams. But people should watch some of that game if you haven't seen Southern Cal play yet.
Yeah,
they're
and Oregon State.
Something.
I mean, look at the over-unders. It's almost 70 points for a reason because both of these offenses are electric. And USC statistically has, the best scoring defense in the country.
Yeah.
As of right now. I mean, we'll see how that changes. But, this is one of those things we talk about coaching fits at certain universities. I think both Oklahoma and USC both made out like bandits in this deal here. I think Oklahoma is a much better fit for Venables than Riley was. And I think that USC is a much better fit for Riley than, anybody, whoever, Helton or whoever was there before.
Yeah.
This is a match made in heaven for both of these schools, USC and Oklahoma. They should both be lucky they got the coaches they got. And both universities will improve as a result of it.
Agreed. Utah at Arizona State. Now, we saw a game last week where a coach got fired, team came out and completely rolled over and died in that Oklahoma-Nebraska game, Nebraska's first game post-Scott Frost. You think we see something similar at Arizona State? It's a home game for Arizona State, but it was a home game for Nebraska too. And Utah's favored by 14.5.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a blowout.
Yeah, I like Utah big. Big.
Yeah, I mean, like by 30.
Stanford at Washington. Washington's favored by 12.5. I like Washington. They're 3-0.
Another good team in the Pac-12.
Yep, beat Michigan State last week. Throws the ball all over the place. I like Washington in this one. Stanford's still not very good.
No.
2 years in a row now. Well, several years in a row, really. And that's it for me as far as games I care about. If I missed any that you want to talk about, feel free. We can talk about them now, but I've went through my whole list.
I don't see anything that you missed.
That's great news. Edward, anything we missed?
Tech, did we talk about that one?
Who?
I'll say, what?
Which one, Pete?
Texas and Texas Tech.
Texas and Texas Tech. What time does that game come on?
3:35 on ESPN.
All right, let me scroll back up to the 3:30 games.
So it's a 6.5 point game. Texas is favored. It's in Texas Tech.
I see it.
Here's what I need to know about this game because I haven't really paid attention to this much. But what's your situation?
I don't think he's playing again.
All right.
Let me look it up real quick. I like Texas minus a touchdown whether Quinn Ewers is playing or not, to be honest.
Yeah, I think I do too.
Let's see. Quinn Ewers injury update 10 hours ago. Quinn Ewers, Texas star QB, was at practice as timetable for return reportedly improves. Ewers was originally projected to miss up to 6 weeks, but the progress has since improved. I'd be surprised if he played this week then. It's only been 1 week. He won't come back
for at least a month then. If it's so probably, what is that? They play week 2, so probably week 6 or 7 will come back. I'm with you. Give me Texas. I mean, they impressed me against Alabama. Maybe, maybe that was. I'm of the belief that if you were, did you see that entire game?
The Bama game?
Yeah.
Most of it.
Okay. Ewers was on fire. I mean,
yeah, that's the part I saw about the first. I didn't see the second half.
All right, yeah. So you saw the first. So
I
the
saw
first
Quinn Ewers
quarter,
play.
Ewers are still in there. He was
Yeah.
on fire.
Yeah.
If he would have been in the whole game, there's no doubt in my mind that Texas would have won that game. I mean, the backup played well too, and there was a lot of other stuff that happened. But Ewers was just, I mean, he was out there just lighting Alabama up, son. I mean, I don't even know what the stats were. Somebody knows what those were. He was like 9 of 10 or 6 of 8 or something, whatever it was. He was just doing pretty much anything he wanted to do.
Yeah. Bama's got issues.
But I'm with you. I don't care who's the quarterback. At less than a touchdown, that's give me the Longhorns.
All right. I'm with you. I'll take Texas. So that wraps it up for the predictions. And Pete, just so we can get you on the record, after 3 weeks of college football, who's the best team in the country?
Georgia.
Yes. That's what I thought too. Again, we agree. We agree a lot today.
Yeah, we do.
Agree a lot today. That's good. That's real good. Edward, what'd you think about that, buddy?
Oh yeah, Georgia's looking really good. I like it.
Yeah.
I mean, Florida State's starting out well too.
Florida State fans have to be excited. They have been wandering the desert. For Florida State to be bad for this long, it's been very unexpected to me. Like, they were so good for so long. The fall off and then the amount of time that it's taken I never would have thought it would have been that drastic that quick at Florida State. I mean, it was like clockwork. They were finishing in the top 5. I mean, what was the deal under Bobby Bowden? They finished top 5 something like 12 years in a row.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just something crazy. And then what's his name comes in and wins a national title 4 years later, and you're like, man, this is just never going to end. And it's not like they just dropped down to being a top 20-ish team. They fell off the friggin' face of the earth for 6 or 7 years. I mean, just misery.
Yeah, they went from winning national titles to being one of the worst teams in one of the worst conferences.
Yeah,
almost overnight. And I'd be excited too. And what you're starting to see now is what you're starting to see the team that Mike Norvell had at Memphis, which is the reason he got the job at Florida State. It's starting to look a lot like that now. So I mean, this is why people got to be patient, man. I mean, because there was people ready to run Norvell off of last year. I mean, I don't know if you can't just fix a dumpster fire in 1 or 2 seasons. It just doesn't happen. And
the Willie Taggart thing hurt them.
Willie Taggart hurt them badly. Absolutely. Well, Jimbo Fisher to start with, but Willie Taggart was a huge mistake. Yeah, I think they got the right guy this time, though.
Lauren S. says, what do y'all think of Desmond Watson? Also, fuck Florida and go Dogs. I think, is Desmond Watson that 600-pound defensive lineman for Florida? Have you seen him, Pete?
He's the guy the size of a couch.
That guy. Look, I know you need to have big defensive linemen, but you need to have big defensive linemen like Jordan Davis. Okay? People that can move. This guy can't get out of a three-point stance, this guy.
He doesn't need to.
It's so funny to watch.
He was the A and the B gap. There's only a C gap on that line.
I mean, this guy. So I'm looking through some pictures now, and it just doesn't do it justice. I wish I could find maybe I can find a video. I mean, he's obese. Like, the thing about these elite defensive linemen is, yes, they're huge, but they're like 8% body fat. This guy's got to be 20% body fat.
There was a guy didn't he play for like Arizona or Arizona State a couple years ago that was like that? I mean, the guy was just he was like 6'9" and 450 pounds or some shit. He looked like a sumo wrestler.
I mean, you can't watch Florida play defense. You automatically are just drawn to the guy. Like, you can't help but notice him. He's so out of place looking. And I mean, I don't know. The Florida fans that are in here, can y'all? Is he good? He's like 415 pounds. I was exaggerating about 600, but he's like 400 and something.
So I didn't know his name when he said it, but I know exactly who you're talking about because I have seen him before. And you're right. He does stick out like a sore thumb.
Let's see his
You're like,
stats.
holy hell, that guy is not. I mean, he doesn't look like he's in shape at all. At all. I mean,
He's got 5 tackles for the year.
those are guys that just ran into him and fell down.
Yeah, no sacks. He'll never get a sack, ever. I can't. There's no way he plays on third down. I mean, Jordan Davis didn't even play on third down. There's no way he plays on third down. He's got 5 tackles, 1 tackle for loss. I'm surprised he has a tackle for loss. I'm surprised he can get into the backfield before the play is over.
Well, he probably takes 2 steps forward and nobody can stop him. So and then they run into him.
I mean, he is absolutely huge.
6'6", 420 is what Andrew Gator fan says.
Yeah, okay.
That's about right.
See, Jordan Davis was like 6'7", 380, and that's a big difference. That guy, man.
I know it is exactly because I said when I was watching the game, I said, don't they have nutrition plans down there in Florida? This guy's definitely not on a nutrition plan.
Yeah.
He eats whatever he wants.
Is he bigger than Mount Cody? That's a good question. Let's see. Mount Cody
He
was
is
a big
not
one
fat.
too.
Yes, he is.
Yes, Mount Cody was 6'4", 350.
He's bigger than Mount Cody.
Yeah,
definitely.
he's 60, 70 pounds heavier than Mount Cody. He's an entire gold and blue dude bigger than Mount Cody.
He looks like he ate gold and blue, dude.
Oh, man. And I'm not making fun of him for being fat or whatever like that. It's the only reason it's even funny is because it so obviously stands out. You can't watch 5 minutes of a Florida game without going, who is that? Like, because you just don't see that. Look, you almost forget how big. I tell people this all the time. I'll hear from people that will say, hey, I'm going to my first college football game. And when people tell me that, I tell them, there's one thing I tell them every single time. Do whatever you have to do to get down as close to field level as you can. Yeah. I don't care if it's during warm-ups or what. These people are huge.
They are.
And when you're watching on TV, and even someone in person, it's hard to tell because they're all huge. This guy stands out above everyone else when you see him. You cannot miss him. You cannot miss him.
There's not a jersey that they have they have to special make a jersey for him. There's not a jersey they have that will fit him because it looks like he's wearing a Baby Gap shirt. He looks like he's wearing one of Pigskin Pete's V-necks when he's out there. That's what he looks like.
His name is Desmond Watson, Lizard Circus. I'll type it in the Desmond Watson. He's a defensive lineman for Florida. I'll put the pictures up that I found, but these pictures don't do it. These pictures don't do it justice. You got to watch him playing alongside other people to really understand what we're talking about here. But I mean, these here he is in high school. Can you imagine this guy in high school?
No, I mean that's
look at him.
Talk about
just look now. Okay, this number 44 is probably like 6'4", 260. Like he's your typical. This is probably the typical size of a D1 college football defensive lineman right here. And then this is this tub right here. I mean, the guy is just. I mean.
There's guys in high school football that weigh 150 pounds.
This is an outside linebacker here, number 91, and I mean, it's fucking. Look at this guy. This guy don't give a shit, man.
It's like the Refrigerator Perry.
Yeah. Refrigerator Perry. Oh boy. What do you think about that, Edward? Edward, can we get your height and weight for the record?
Well, I know the guy you're talking about, he's much bigger than me. I can tell you that right now, and he outweighs me.
Yeah, I can tell you that too. But I was just curious about
everybody.
I was just curious about your particular height and weight.
I'm about like 140 pounds.
Edward.
I'm light.
Edward.
Yeah.
You got to be pretty short if you weigh 140 pounds.
Edward.
Yeah. Bullshit! Bullshit!
Is that what you tell the girls when you're trying to pick them up? on the internet.
Yeah, I don't know, Edward. 140? How tall are you?
I'm 5'9".
Yeah, he's not 140 pounds.
I'm thinking at least 160, Edward. 165-ish, maybe.
Scale around anyway.
Wait,
I'm not. I'm saying you're at least 175.
Whoa.
At least.
Dang.
There's no way I weigh more than you. No way.
right.
All right, whatever. 140. We'll go with that. That's
Yeah,
fine.
we'll go with that. That's fine. We're not here to
Yeah, I'm not
body
fat
shame
shaming
you.
you.
Yeah, we're not here to body
By the way,
shame you.
you're not fat. I mean,
No, you're not fat at all.
but you do have fat people tendencies. You have stains on your shirt.
Yeah, and the whole El Gigante deal, which we're not going to
El
get into
Gigante.
again, but you did eat, you did swallow the El Gigante whole. So
Edward, did you see my tribute to you? I posted a video and I called it El Gigante. Did you see that?
I hadn't looked at that. I need to check that out.
Yeah. I was talking about Clemson's new Jumbotron. El Gigante is what I named it.
Is it on your channel?
Yeah.
I'll have to head on over there and check it out.
yeah, I don't know about that Jumbotron at Clemson.
I don't either.
It looks like Desmond Watson.
Yeah, too big for its britches. Yeah.
Yeah, it seems too big for what's around it or something. It just, I don't know. It's something awkward about it.
I agree with you. And I've just go ahead and given up on talking about it because Clemson, people, butthurt about it.
I saw you made something, called it cartoonish or something.
Yeah, it is. It's just, the old Jumbotron was outdated and too small. Yes, it was. But you didn't need to make the thing 180% bigger.
Look at this shit.
It's fucking huge, man. It blocks half of the campus from the. It's like it's the Jumbotron.
I gotta pull this picture up. Look at this thing.
Hey. Look at that thing. That's not even the real picture of it. It's bigger than that. You're looking at like the model of it. The real picture of it even looks even crazier. Yeah, look, there you go. Yeah. Yeah. And this is the other part. Now this part is, I can go ahead and tell you I don't like it all. There's a fucking tiger that comes out of the top of the thing.
Oh, I see it on there. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's a terrible looking tiger. I don't even, why'd they do that? And it comes up and down out of the top. It's like a retractable tiger. Oh,
Oh boy.
A Ohio says it looks like having a 70-inch flat screen in a trailer. I mean, it's just too big for that space. They could have made the thing twice as big as they made the original one instead of 3 times as big.
Nikki G wants to know if the tiger pops up and roars after every touchdown.
Well, you know what? I don't know. I think it does, though. Yeah, I don't. I don't know because I haven't been there. I mean, I haven't been there this season. I'll let you know after I come back from the Miami game.
Ramsey said the school says they're going to do movie nights for students. Hell, they could do movie nights for people 3 towns over.
I mean,
Wow.
and it's not. It's like I think they said it's the 6th biggest jumbotron in the country, both pro and college, as far as I know.
That thing's huge.
But whatever, it doesn't fit that space. It doesn't look right.
Man,
I'm done
oh
crying
man.
about it. This will be my last swan song crying about the jumbotron. So here you go.
Chance, thank you for the super chat. He says that number 44, Daquan Newkirk, is listed at 282 for a D lineman. Watson is easily almost twice the size of him. Jesus Christ. Yeah, that's huge. Sprite Man, thank you for the super chat. He says, I'm taking Kansas over Duke. I did too. But Pete took Duke, I think. Didn't you, Pete?
I did. And I had no reason why. I just took Duke.
Right.
Science.
Yeah, me and Peter's scientists. You have to remember that when you're listening to us talk about these betting lines and whatnot. Anything else we need to talk about from last weekend or this upcoming weekend in the world of college football? I don't think so. I think we pretty much covered it all today.
And then some.
Yeah. I didn't even see any trolls in the comments, too, which is a little unusual. Did y'all have to block any trolls in the comments today? This is my first live show in a while, so I was wondering. But,
well, I did it last week on my channel, and I blocked, about 100 of them. So maybe they just decided to give up.
Yeah. Daniel Rivera, thank you for the super chat. He says, it looks like Tony the Tiger from Kellogg's cereal. They're great.
Oh, you're talking about that. Yeah. I don't know what that thing is.
Chance says, I love funding your mini helmet addiction. You're welcome. I think I have another one waiting on me at the post office, which I'll get tomorrow on my way for Lou Jr. soccer practice. And I ordered a Kansas helmet from Amazon. I have probably ordered in my lifetime. I don't even know how many things I've ordered from Amazon in my lifetime, but it's a lot. I've never had a single issue. I ordered a Kansas helmet. Amazon notified me that it was delivered. It wasn't delivered. I copied the tracking number, tracked it on postoffice.com or whatever it is. And on the post office website, it said item was returned to sender. But on Amazon, it said delivered. And I was like, well, what's going on here? So I had to figure out how to get in touch with whoever I had bought it from through Amazon, which wasn't easy. But anyway, I ended up finding them and communicating with them, and they just sent me another one, and it's supposed to be here tomorrow. So, yeah, Chance says I'm funding your mini helmet addiction. Thank you, Chance. And yes, I do have a mini helmet. I am addicted to mini helmets. It's a fact. I can't deny it. Not even going to try. I noticed where Golden Blue Dude's got a few mini helmets in his background. Pete, have you noticed that?
Yeah, and he's got some, those I don't even know what you call them, like pennant flags that Sleeta uses on all of his videos.
Yeah.
He's got some of those too.
Yeah, and I like how he has them on the wall in no particular shape, order, pattern.
Yeah, they're just, it looks like somebody just threw them up against the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's interesting.
It is interesting. It is interesting. All right, Edward, what else you got for us tonight, buddy?
Well, you said skip master at work, so I'll skip that. Also started reading my comic books.
Which one are you reading now?
I'm reading Conan the Barbarian. That's one of the the series, like the Heku trilogies.
Mm-hmm.
About to start reading that.
It's amazing. Now, do you have to read those or just look at the pictures?
I read.
Okay. Do you also look at the pictures?
Oh yeah, I do both.
Okay. I figured.
Yeah, I'm a big Batman fan as well.
Okay. When it comes to the Batman movies, who was the best Batman?
Christian Bale.
God, that's a tough one.
I just it was like threat that came out.
I would say for me, I like Keaton for movie wise.
Really?
He was a good one. Christian Bale was the best.
Yeah, Christian Bale's definitely the best actor they've ever had played Batman. I mean, Christian Bale could play a potted plant and he'd win an Oscar. He was really good. Those were the best movies, too. The Christopher Nolan trilogy, the Dark Knight trilogy. Those were the best movies, I think.
What was the best group of them? Yeah, I agree with you there.
Those were really good. You can watch. You can not even care at all about Batman or superheroes in general, and still enjoy that Dark Knight trilogy. It's that good.
Well, I'm not a I'm not one of these people that goes out and watches every single superhero movie is like super into it. I mean, I watch them because I have kids, but I'm a huge fan of Batman. I love Batman.
I tell you what, I'm a huge fan of is Better Call Saul. And I finally watched the last season over the last several days.
Where'd you watch that
at home.
I know, but on what?
Oh, I had recorded it. It came on AMC week after week, and I DVR'd it all. And it won't come on Netflix until next year.
I know.
I've noticed this. A lot of series are doing this now. I think the last season of Better Call Saul was 13 episodes long. It should have been 10. And it should have ended after episode 9 or 10. Like the last 3 episodes, in my opinion, and I'm not going to give any spoilers for those who haven't seen it. The last 3 episodes are just a complete waste. You don't even need to watch the last 3. It just nothing. Well, something does happen at the end, but it's so anticlimactic. The climax of the entire series occurs in like episode 9 or 10. Like every single storyline that's going on in the entire series comes to an end, and it's pretty satisfying. And then you're like, whoa, there's 3 more episodes, and you're like, oh my God, what's going to happen now? And then nothing happens, and I'm like, you didn't have to make 13 episodes. You know, if all you have is 10 episodes worth of material, make 10 episodes. Stranger Things did the same thing.
Yeah,
they could have taken 2 or 3 episodes out of this last season of Stranger Things, and it would have been great.
One out. And it was good though. But you're right. I'm with you.
There was a couple of episodes in the middle of that last part of Stranger Things that just didn't need to be in there. It was just a waste of time, and that's how the last 2 or 3 episodes of Better Call Saul were, and it pissed me off. Because the ending of episode 9 or 10 or whichever episode it was great. And then I'm like, and then when I saw there was 3 more episodes, I'm like, what? Like, what's going to happen now?
I'm pissed that I can't see it till next year.
And then nothing happened. Like,
I've been watching it since it came out. I mean, I love Better Call
such a
Saul.
good show. Yeah, such a good show. So that irritated me.
Well, nobody give me any spoilers then.
The next thing I got to watch that just came out is the new season of Cobra Kai.
So I'm on the last episode
Of the new season?
Yeah, it came out like a week and a half ago or something.
Right. Well, I wasn't able to watch it.
Well, I know. Well, I guess I didn't start watching it until today. I was sick today, so I was just laying around moaning and groaning. So I just binge watched it, and I before the show I had to come up, and I got 1 episode left.
Okay. So you liked all the previous seasons, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Me too.
I don't think it's like the greatest show ever, but I like it. I mean, I enjoy it because I'm an '80s kid and I like Karate Kid and all that. But I'll tell you one thing though, this is probably the best season out of all of them.
Oh, that's what I was getting at, without ruining it for me, because I've really enjoyed the show so far. So I'm hoping that it keeps the momentum going. So it does.
I can't say too much. Okay. Believe me, trust me. If you like it, the previous seasons, this is probably the best one out of all of them.
Okay, good. Me and BA have been watching that show together as it comes out. So we'll probably watch that new season, not this coming weekend, but next weekend is probably when we'll watch that. Because we just finished up Better Call Saul.
I know we're getting on movies now and it's late, but I've been telling everybody to watch this for the past 3 years. Nobody talks about it ever. It's on Netflix. It's called In the Dark.
In the Dark.
It's really good. The new season just came out. I think it's season 3 or 4. Believe me, you'll like it.
I just wrote it down. What I might do, I don't know about you, Pete. When you do these late night shows, like I would love to end this show and go to sleep.
Yeah, I'll be up for at least another hour.
Yeah, I can't. I don't know if it's because I'm too wound up. I don't know if I'm staring at the computer screen for 2 hours. So then I don't know. It's the same way when I do the call-in shows at night. So I'm gonna turn this on in the dark, and I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try it tonight, and I'll give you an update on what I think. Next.
Yeah,
Monday.
and like I said, there's 3 or 4 seasons. I mean, start at season 1, obviously.
Right.
But it's one of these shows. I mean, I like all 4 seasons, but the newest season is by far the best. But they're all good. Just start. If you start watching it and getting 3 or 4 episodes in, you'll get hooked on it.
Okay. Yeah, I'll put that on. Put that on. Rob Dog says, "Don't forget the new Masked Singer season starts Wednesday." No, what?
Yeah, you can go fuck yourself.
Yeah. Everybody don't forget the new season of The Masked Singer.
Yeah, no.
Do you really watch that, Rob, or are you trolling?
I think he's got to be trolling.
Oh, my God, The Masked Singer. Okay. All right, Edward. Any last words, buddy? We're going to get out of here.
Yeah, love what I'm doing, and I'll just say, Saturday night, 8 p.m. I'll be streaming. I'm sure people will be watching football, but hey, I'm gonna go 2 hours. That's cool. It's Friction Vixen's birthday.
Oh, is it her birthday this coming weekend?
This Saturday.
Oh, good. Is it just where have they been? I haven't seen them around a lot. Lately. Friction and Traction Jackson.
I've seen him in my chat a few times.
I need to check on them. All right, Edward. Glad you got your computer situation squared away today so we could have you on, and looking forward to talking to you next Monday, and we'll try to check you out some Saturday night.
Definitely. Hey, you're doing your call-in show tomorrow. Do you know about what time, or you're not sure yet?
Lou Jr.'s soccer schedule has been rearranged this week, so he actually has practice tomorrow at a weird 5:30 to 7.
Okay.
So I've been doing the call-in show on Tuesdays from 4 to 6. Tomorrow I'm going to do the call-in show at 8. Around 8. I'm going to take him to do his whole soccer thing, which ends at 7, so it'll probably be about 8 o'clock I'll start the call-in show tomorrow. Wait a minute. What time's the ACC show tomorrow, Pete?
That's
7 p.m.
Till when?
7 to 9.
Okay, 9 o'clock tomorrow, Edward.
All right. You think I could clown Master at work then?
No.
No.
Do yourself a favor. Just don't clown him at all.
Edward. He's been clowning himself for 14 years on YouTube.
I clowned him last time.
You don't need to do it.
On the Lunch Money Show. He doesn't need clowning again.
Yeah. And plus he clowns him on himself every time he uploads a video. You don't have to do it.
Maybe I can clown him on my channel.
Do whatever you want on your channel. That's
your channel.
Yeah.
Pull the Sleeta cards. My channel. I'll do whatever I want to on my channel.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. All right, Edward. We'll see you Saturday, and we'll see you back on the Lunch Money Show next Monday.
You got it, guys.
All right, buddy.
Have a good night.
Yep. Have a good week.
Edward.
All right, Pete. Another one in the books, buddy.
Yes, sir.
All right. We'll do it again next Monday. Shout out to everybody for tuning in. We had a good time. Thank you for hanging out with us tonight. Again, we do this every Monday night at 10 p.m. year-round. If you're not subscribed to Pigskin Pete, make sure you check him out. Just type Pigskin Pete. It'll be the first one that comes up in the results on YouTube. He does live shows. Shit, you do. How many live shows are you doing now?
Seven in the off season. Now I'm up to I think 7 a week, and during the season I'm up to 10. I don't know. I mean that's.
And you're streaming games on the weekends now too, right?
Games. I got so many shows I can't count them. Just look up your boy. You'll find what you need to find.
Yeah. All right. I hope everybody enjoys the rest of their week. Thanks again for hanging out with us tonight. I'll be back at 8 a.m. tomorrow for the morning show. Celine Driver is joining me on the morning show tomorrow, and the call-in show tomorrow night at 9 o'clock, right after Pigskin Pete's ACC show. Appreciate everybody tuning in, and we'll talk to you again real soon. Have a good morning.